Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to Wrestling Days Live. We are live for AEW and NXT. It is Wednesday Night Wrestling and we are here for both of those shows. It's not the best looking card for the two shows, to be honest. There's not like loads of stuff to really go through. I was just having a quick look to see what was in store, and we've got the final of that interim championship, which I've got to be honest, I just don't care about it at all. I really don't care about it. As well as that, we've got, I don't even know what else we've got on NXT wise. Over on AEW, I know that we've got Brian Cage. I know that we've got Cody against Jungle Boy, which should be very good. Very good, actually. I'm very much looking forward to that. I don't think Mike Tyson is being advertised, so I'm not expecting Mike Tyson. Obviously, that was a big talking point coming out of last week's show, was Mike Tyson and Jericho, and there is a sit-down chat with FTR, so yes, we are going to be hearing from those guys, because obviously they made their debut, if you will. They arrived last week on AEW, so there's a couple of things. I mean, look, there's a couple of things, but nothing compared to like last week. Last week's shows were stacked, and there's just not that much. I am more interested in AEW tonight. I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm a lot more interested in AEW tonight. I think that NXT's got the finalist tournament. You all know my feelings about Drake Maverick and that situation. I really hate it. I don't like that story. I'm pleased that he's back with the company. It was something that we wanted to see happen. I just didn't want to see it made into a story. So I'm not a fan of that storyline. And so as a result, I've got no interest in that match. And also, this is a go-home show. We know that it's NXT this weekend. NXT TakeOver in your house. So it's just going to be final touches this week. We know that go-home shows can be a little bit flat. And I've got to be honest, I'm kind of expecting that to be the case for NXT. But who knows? We could be wrong. But I like to give you my thoughts as to what's happening on both shows tonight. What show looks the best, and normally it's like quite close, 50-50. For tonight, I really am keeping more of an eye on AEW. Coaster Maniacs says, King Coasters are your new Faction Wars champions. Wow, many congratulations. I forgot that was moved. Do you know what? No word of a lie. I woke up around about 25 minutes ago. I'd managed to set the stream up earlier. I'd been awake earlier, then gone on Twitter. I saw if there was any news and all that kind of stuff. And then I was like, well, there's not really any news and not really much to talk about. So I thought, well, I'll just have a little nap. I'll have a little nap. Treat myself to a little nap. And then I woke up and it was like 20 to midnight. And we start at midnight here. And I was like, no. So I've just been running around desperately trying to get the stream set up on time, and I think we were a couple of minutes, but yeah, I'm quite pleased with my effort there. I feel like I've just done a decathlon to get this stream set up and ready on time. So if I'm a little bit out of breath, then that's the reason. It's because there's been a lot of behind the scenes racing around, which it's very important I don't tell you about. I need to keep the mystique that I'm very organised. So when the truth is, I'm absolutely not. I think Rhea is going to win in your house, says Banana Bob. Time in and out hours. That might be a good idea. I wonder if Sunday is Dream's final match before his call-up. I think Drake will win the title, and I am hoping for a surprise on AEW. JR is getting a little bit dull with his commentary. That's really interesting. I love those kinds of comments because I think that you've got a lot of stuff in there, and I think you've got some really interesting points in there as well, Jason. So shout out to you, Jason. The police in London are being attacked. Oh, I was worried that this would spread. I mean, I got to tell you, we didn't really have much activity last week. There was like a couple of protests. Certainly towards the end of last week, we were starting to. I think if anything, I don't want to say that it's. That's really disappointing. I haven't seen that news. I think that our protests started here as a sign of solidarity with America, probably more so than I think us having a problem. I don't want to get too bogged down in it because I'm literally reacting like this is the first I'm hearing of it. So I don't want to get too bogged down into it. And obviously this is a wrestling stream, but I don't believe the UK has a problem the size the US does, the scale that the US does. I'm not going to be stupid enough to say the UK doesn't have a problem at all, right? But nothing compared to what the US has, seemingly, and what it's going through. So our protests were very small, very, very small. But then towards the end of last week, they were growing, and it was all in support of America, and rightfully so. And we're all shouting with the same voice here. We're all sending the same messages. Black Lives Matter, and justice, and we all want change, and we all want equality, and but that's a real shame now if things are going to start turning moody, and those protests are going to start changing a little. I really don't want to see the scenes here of like rioting and looting and things along those lines. I think our protests were really strong, were really nice, were solidarity. I don't personally feel our protests here in the UK needed to turn violent. I don't know. I think the problem is that if ever you have a protest, you can always be infiltrated, can't you? You can always be infiltrated by darker groups, that want to turn things violent, that want to turn things a bit moody. So, yeah, that's a shame. That's a real shame. I haven't heard that or seen that or anything. Jerry Smith, shout out to you. Imtiaz says it's the anger towards the British government for not condemning Donald Trump. That's why they marched to Downing Street and had altercations with the police. Okay, this is interesting. So, as I said, yeah, I've not seen this news. And equally, I've not seen. I think it's difficult for governments to come out and condemn Donald Trump because people have voted for him. He is saying that, he's standing up against, I don't want to get bogged down into it, but he's saying that he's on the side of the protesters. You can judge for yourself whether his actions back that up or not. So it's really difficult. There's a very interesting clip where the Canadian Prime Minister, is it Prime Minister, that Trudeau guy? They ask him the question of what do you think about what, how it's been handled, and he's honestly for like 30 seconds like it's a difficult one to answer. So that's a shame. I think that's a shame. Random question, but do you still have the WrestleFest arcade thing? I do. It's currently literally just right over there. I would show you, but it's turned off. And it's plugged in, but I never play it. I never get a chance to play it. So I think I've played it a handful of times outside of what you've seen, like on videos and things. I did a couple of videos and I've played it a few more times. I mean, I love it, and if I want to play it, it's right there, But yeah, I've just not had a chance to turn it on. Have you heard about Elias on the bump, that he is home and he is recovering? Okay, cool. There's a difference between protesters and rioters. It's a small pocket of rioters that are turning something, that's ruining something that's peaceful. That's really well said. Really, really well said. I completely agree. And do you know what I mean? I'm on the side of the protesters, and I saw a really great video earlier. A really great video which was talking about why sometimes there is a need for peaceful protests to just get a little bit angrier, you know? Not condoning violence and not condoning looting and stuff like that, but just really interesting how it was talking about we've done peaceful protests in this year. We did a peaceful protest in that year. We did a peaceful protest here. This was the result of it. No change. You know, when we did get a little bit more angry and upset in this year and this year, this was what happened as a result. So history tells us that if you do peaceful protests, your voice isn't heard. And sometimes, you know, things have to get a little bit louder than just a peaceful protest. Now, I am in no way saying that I agree with the looting and stuff like that. That's not what I'm throwing out there. I'm just saying that I can understand that point of view. If you go, well, hang on, we did peaceful protest here, the end result was nothing. And then, you know, things got a little bit rockier here, and we got this law and that law changed. You could kind of understand why they would be leaning a little bit more that way. So, but I'm not saying that's what they're doing. I know that there's a small group that's really causing the damage, if you will. And that's a shame because you don't want the message to get lost. I tell you what, wow, thanks, guys. I mean, I literally woke up about 35 minutes ago and bang, look what we're into. Do you know what I mean? Whew. Even the Prime Minister of Canada got to stand there for 30 seconds and go, and here we are going, like dancing all over the place here. I mean, this isn't a difficult conversation because the message is very simple, and that is Black Lives Matter, and that is justice for all, you know? You're seeing it loud and clear everywhere, and I'm absolutely no different, of course not. So that's easy. That's an easy conversation. But yeah, there's difficult stuff in there as well, like how is it being handled and things like that. Days, do you think WWE are hesitant of putting Gargano and Ciampa on SmackDown and Raw? I honestly, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I think they've got their rosters. I think that COVID is messing up everything. I think that they now have probably kind of locked down their rosters and gone, right, first of all, that's NXT, that's Raw, that's SmackDown. Use these people. Let's get through this period. And then once we're out, we've got crowds back, we're back on the road, then we can look at mixing it up. And I think once you get to that point, that's when you might see a draft. That's when you might see a superstar shakeup. That's when you might see some change. Until we get to that point, there's your rosters, right? Nice and simple. Bruce, there's SmackDown. Heyman, there's Raw. Triple H, there's NXT. Book your stories, make this work, yeah? Because the last thing we need right now is people moving around all over the place. So they've done a couple. I think where SmackDown has kind of struggled a little bit with, like it needs another heel, or they've got a plan for a story. That's where there's been a conversation and they've been allowed to take AJ Styles. Of course, we know that Becky has left. So, you know, there's been the odd little movement. Not much. We know that Riddle's on the way. But it's just this bit here and that bit there. So in regards to like Ciampa and Gargano, they would be big pieces, wouldn't they? They're not going to get called up and just used sparingly. I think they're going to need the right creative, the right story, and now is not the right time for those kinds of things. So we'll have to wait until we get through this. I wouldn't mind seeing Aleister Black on SmackDown. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that will happen. Ballyho to £10 a podcast. Edge versus Randy thoughts. I can't tell what they've got planned, but they've got something planned. I don't believe you go around saying this is going to be the greatest wrestling match, and then you just put on an average wrestling match. There's got to be something. There's got to be something. I'm wondering if they've been working on it for a long time. and if they've been putting together a really solid match. Because make no mistake about it, if this is going to be like one of the best matches of the year, you will start getting people starting to go, is this the best wrestling match yet? There's a lot of people that haven't seen, you know, Shawn Undertaker or Okada versus Omega, or do you know what I mean? Like some of the younger fans in particular, whereby if this is going to be a really solid match, you know, 4.5 star kind of a thing. I'm not saying they're going to get 5 stars. I don't even know they'll get 4.5, that kind of a match. But if it's going to be a really good, then you might just start to get people, younger people in particular, just going, is this the best wrestling match? This is really good. And I just wonder if they're trying to aim for that. I can't work it out. The greatest wrestling match. What a statement. How can you even say that before the match has happened? I don't know. So my thoughts are that I'm super intrigued. Like, in that sense, it's really worked. Because I'm sitting here going, okay, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? You've never done this before. So why are you doing this now? What have you got planned? I mean, it's probably, don't get me wrong, it's probably just going to be a normal match. It's probably going to be awful, right? And then afterwards we'll go, what was all that about? That is, if you look on the scale of predictability, that is probably the most likely outcome, yeah? Is where we just get an average match and go, that was it. After all of that build, that was it. But have they got anything that they could have lined up a little bit more? I don't know, but I'm super intrigued. Eric Haberman says, donate money for Minnesota businesses today. Is that, I've seen a little link thing that was doing the rounds on social media that had like things you could do, which looked really cool, actually. I did mean to retweet that. I think I saw David Lagana, maybe the NWA, retweeted it, and it just had things that you can do. Because I think we're at the point now where there's a lot of people saying, okay, this is great, but how do we get this changed now? You know, for a week, we've had this message loud and clear. We can see the images. What's the next step? And we're starting to see that come through on Twitter now. So there's, as you can see from Eric there, there's things that can be done. Anna Dawes says, Days, what's your thoughts on Nia Jax? Nice question. Do you believe a stint back down at the PC could be in order to prevent more mishaps? That's a really good question. My feeling on Nia Jax is that I've watched that clip a few times, and I'm not sure I can blame her for Kairi getting thrown into the steps. She grabs her out the ring. When she's got her, Kairi seems to be quite stable. We don't know that she is. I mean, she takes a nasty bump on the edge of the ring, gets pulled out. She seems to be standing there, and it's not as if her legs are wobbly, and then she gets thrown and she's not set. I actually watched that video and looked at her legs, right? This is how weird my life is. So I watched the video. I see Nia pulling Kairi out. She stands there, and it could be that Kairi is still out of it, but she seems pretty set. I gotta say what I saw. She seems like she's standing and ready to be thrown. Nia throws her with a lot of force. Now, maybe that's the problem. Maybe Nia doesn't necessarily know her own strength. Maybe she could have, really made it look like she was thrown, but actually not really put it into it. So maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe she doesn't know her own strength. You know, she's in there with Kairi, who's, just the same weight as a bag of flour. And she's just really hurled her. And Kairi, as she's been thrown, her legs actually buckle a little bit. And while she's like dealing with that situation, before she knows it, bang, she's into the ring steps. She can't quite get her hands up quick enough, and she might still have been stunned from the moment before. But I can't say necessarily that it was something that Nia did wrong. I didn't look at it and go, no, what she needed to do there was this, this, and this. It looked like not a mistake, but just one of those things that happens in wrestling sometimes, you know. People get cut. These kind of injuries happen. People get bruises and cuts and things along those lines, and it's not necessarily anyone's fault. The thing with Nia is that it always happens with her, you know, and certainly the previous instances have been because she's been heavy-handed. I don't know her going back to the Performance Center is going to teach her a great deal, if I'm being honest. I kind of feel like I hope someone's had a word with her. I don't even know what's being said. I hope that she's not just finishing and no one's saying anything, you know? Because that's got to be a difficult conversation to have. Do you know what I mean? Certainly for the other girls in the locker room saying, look, you're coming across as dangerous. That's not an easy conversation. Vince will have it, no problem. But has Vince had it? I don't know. That's the problem. I mean, the first step would be, has the conversation even rather than just throwing her back down to NXT, has someone spoke to her? Because I don't know if they have. So for me, the conversation needs to be, look, you're in there with someone that's a lot smaller. You're in there with someone that's there to put you over so that you can dominate them and look big, look strong, look powerful. Don't actually do it, right? Don't actually be throwing them around with all of your force, because the problem is that this is the end result, you know? You're knocking her all over the place. She's taking crazy bumps. So if that conversation has happened and we're still getting this, then honestly, I don't even know if NXT and the Performance Center would help her, because clearly she's not able to take information in. You know what I mean? Stop being so heavy-handed. It's a very simple request. I don't know how the Performance Center can kind of teach her how to not be heavy-handed, unless she feels that she can go down and learn a few techniques or something that she doesn't have. But that would all have to come through dialogue with her. So to answer the question, I think she can be dangerous at times. I'm not sure what we saw the other day was really specifically her fault. I think it was a little bit of, you know, between the two of them. And I would question as to whether she has just naturally got it, and whether the conversation has been had in the first place. Ciampa said he doesn't want to move to Raw or SmackDown because he doesn't want to be used for one storyline and not to be used ever again, says Bembo Gaming. I think Gargano will beat Keith Lee, then he will go to SmackDown, says Swamp Manor. Days, do you think Cody Rhodes will get drafted to Raw? I think that we're going to file that in unlikely. Trini says, in this situation, Nia might not be the cause of the injury, but the fact that the first thought in everyone's mind was that she was says a lot, I think. She needs more time and ring experience. Yeah, I mean, I do understand that. And it's more than a fair point. The only thing I would counter with is that she's had a lot of matches. You know, she's been on the main roster for long enough now. She's been in enough feuds. She's done enough house shows. She's learned what she's learned. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, how much longer do you think she needs? I mean, what's an extra year? Is she gonna be better in a year's time? Because I would say not. This isn't someone that's green. Someone that, do you know what I mean, has been plucked out of the Performance Center a little bit early. That was my criticism of, like, Liv Morgan. I don't have that criticism of Liv anymore. But when Liv first came up with the Riot Squad, I remember saying, this is too early for her. This is too early. She had done nothing down in NXT. And I kind of felt like it was way too early to be bringing her up. Now, she's done a lot of house shows. She's done some matches. I kind of feel that she's now in a much, much better place. I think that she's a little bit more polished now. I would fully expect that to be the case for Nia as well. I really would. But you make an excellent point. Everyone thought, as soon as they heard that news, everyone thought that's Nia's fault. And I'm not saying that she didn't play a part. Of course, she absolutely did. But I don't know. There has to come a point where you go, maybe she's just not got it. Maybe she's just not got it. Maybe this is something that you can't teach. You know, maybe there's some people that just don't have the abilities. And maybe she's one. I don't know. I just hope that someone's having the conversation. Swamp Manor says, Nia has injured more than 10 women. Yeah. I don't know that it's 10, but yeah, by no means am I defending Nia. I'm just saying that what I saw the other day was maybe a little bit more 50-50 rather than it being straight out Nia's fault. Days, it's a double swerve. WWE says it's the best match ever, so we lower our expectations and then they blow us away. I haven't lowered if anything, my expectations are through the roof. If you tell me you're going to give me the greatest match ever, I'm going to expect that. Do you know what I mean? Like, if this is a double swerve, it's really not working. We're going to give... if someone said that, right, you're about to see the best wrestling match ever, I don't go, oh, wow, this is going to be rubbish. Let's expect a 1-star match now. I'm going to go, okay, then. Impress me. What you got? So it's really not going to work. You could be right. That could be their strategy. But it's an awful strategy. It's an awful strategy. It's like going to war and getting a tannoy, a loud hailer, and going, right, just so you know, we're all gonna walk forward now, for like 10 miles, and we've put our guns down, so we're unarmed, but we're coming to beat you up with our fists, just so you know, we're gonna walk forward, right, hoping that they don't believe you, right, and then that's exactly what you do, and then you get bombed. That's how war goes. So that is exactly what this greatest wrestling match ever is all about. It's basically telling people what you're going to be doing and then hoping that they don't believe you, but then trying to do it. I don't know. Look, can you see what they've done? Can you see what they've done? I'm talking gibberish now, and they're melting my brain. They've actually melted my brain. I don't know. I can't call it. It's so weird. It's so weird. But it's working because I need to see it. Maybe it's going to be a great match, just not the best match, says Monica King. Orton Edge will end with one RKO, and that will be with a twist at Backlash, says Sports World. Never get high expectations with the WWE. They always underdeliver, says Beaver Cleavage. Anna says, rumours are flying that Nia was too close to the steps for the throw, hence why Kyrie couldn't get her hands up in time and she threw too hard. I'm sure I've seen people throw from where they were, so I don't think that they were too close. They were kind of in the middle of the ring apron, so I don't have an issue with the positioning. I'd be very interested to hear from like a wrestling. It's a really great comment, Anna, by the way. I hadn't considered the positioning, but I certainly didn't look at it. It's not as if they were like standing right next to it and she's gone, oh. Do you know what I mean? And it's right there. They were like in the middle of the ring, and I kind of feel like that positioning's fine. Personal opinion, and I'm pretty sure I can find examples where it's took place from that positioning. But Kyrie not getting her hands up because she was thrown too hard, that is definitely something I can get on board with. That is definitely something, because she does throw her with a lot of velocity and ferociousness. So yeah, I definitely think that for me is what I'm leaning more towards. But I would be very interested. I don't know if Lance Storm is still working with anyone. I don't know why a retired wrestler doesn't start a YouTube channel where they look at some of these controversial moments and give us their perspective. Because obviously I'm not a trained wrestler. I've just watched a lot of wrestling. And as I said, I think I can find examples of people being thrown from around that position. But be very interested to hear from a trained wrestler. Be very interested to see what they've got to say and see if that is the case, if that's what they believe. So really great comment. Great comment, Anna. Lovely stuff. Days, is the Intercontinental Championship match this Friday on SmackDown? If so, it sucks because AJ Bryan at Backlash would be good. It's been recorded. I think it is going to be this Friday. I think it's this Friday. Days, you missed my super sticker. Did I, my friend? Let me go up. Oh, I did. Cool little face with some shades on. Look at you chilling out, Monica King. Shout out to you, Monica. Hope you are well. Looking very cool. I think the greatest match ever, Jericho versus Omega at Wrestle Kingdom, or Omega versus Okada, says LeBron Fan 23. Orton versus Edge will last the whole show. I think Orton will do something to screw us out of that match, and it won't be a match at all, says Run with the Hunted. That's very interesting point. I bet Orton will destroy Edge and the twist will come out of the blue. It does seem strange. I reckon it is false advertising. I do, Nicholas, as well. I think it's going to be false advertising as well. I mean, you've got to think, what are the chances they actually give us the greatest wrestling match ever? It's slim to none, isn't it? It's slim to none. So I also think that it's going to be false advertising. But I don't know. It's, as I keep saying, they've definitely got me intrigued. So I can't wait to see what they pull out of the bag. Beaver Cleavage, shout out to you. Delanio says she is too dangerous. Will we see Riddle versus Nakamura? Riddle versus Cesaro? Almost definitely, James. Yes, almost definitely. Sean says, hello, Days, and to all the wonderful people in the chat, hello. Let's put the stress and worries of the everyday real world aside for a bit and enjoy what is arguably the most enjoyable night of wrestling. Well said, my friend. Well said. Yeah, I mean, look, I do understand that when it comes to these streams, we do talk about at times things that are going on in the world, things that are outside of wrestling. And I absolutely don't mind doing that. I don't necessarily apologize for us doing that because you can't really ignore the things that are going on in the world, and certainly not like when we stream every single day, you know. There's and we always have like this hour before where we can talk about stuff. So I totally understand that things like that are going to be discussed, and I think it's fine for us to touch on them. But yeah, I agree. Let's move and focus a bit more on tonight and what we're going to see tonight. So in regards to tonight, let's jump into AEW and see what is on their preview. Last time I checked, there wasn't loads. So we've got Cody versus Jungle Boy. This is for the TNT Championship. Hangman Page and Kenny Omega taking on Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc. That's actually for the AEW World Tag Team titles. So, amazing. Brian Cage is going to be in action. Nyla Rose against Big Swole. I really like Big Swole. I'm a Big Swole fan. I thought that she played the part of being an audience member very well. She was very passionate. So, Nyla Rose versus Big Swole. We've got Chris Jericho versus Colt Cabana. And also, we've got FTR sitting down with Tony. So, that should be a lot of fun. No word on Tyson. So, we don't know what's happening there. So, I'm not expecting any Mike Tyson this week. Over on NXT, we have got Mia Yim versus Candice LeRae. We got Fantasma versus Drake Maverick for the final of the Interim Cruiserweight Championship. And that's all they've announced. This is a go-home show. It's a go-home show, so there's not a great deal to kind of get excited about, unfortunately. I just think they're going to put a few final touches in place, a few final things as we build towards Sunday's NXT in your house. Don't forget that it's Sunday. Normally, NXT takeovers are on a Saturday, but this week it's UFC 250. So WWE did the right thing of moving it to a Sunday. So yes, it is Sunday this week. Luke's World says, let's rock and roll for AEW. I'm guessing that's what you meant. And NXT. Shout out to you, bud. Shout out to William Hensey and Sonny Wolf as well. Days AWE is okay. Do you mean AEW? Yeah, I think they're good. I think they have some good moments. I think they have some missteps as well, but then so does every other wrestling company. Do you have a favorite match in the WWE era? Mine was Raw 1000, Punk versus Cena for the WWE when Big Show attacked. Very cool. I don't know what you mean by WWE era. Do you mean like since they changed their name? Because I would say Shawn Undertaker. I still think that's one of the best Undertaker matches, definitely, but one of the best wrestling matches. I watch AEW to see what the hype was about, and it is Impact 2.0. The thing with AEW is that they do have some really good matches. I think people need to understand that it's not the sports-based promotion that we were hoping for at the start. I think they do have a few things that are sports-based. They do have rankings, and they do keep a good record of wins and losses. But a lot of it is the same as you said, Impact or something that WWE would do. I think we're all quite surprised that it's not different to what it's become. It seems to have a lot of influence from like being the elite, which, you know, they've got the audience for that. People enjoy that. It's working for them. You know, consistently they're getting ratings above NXT. So, I don't know. They know what their audience like, and they're giving their audience that. What happened to the TNT Championship? It's being defended tonight. Cody versus Jungle Boy. AEW reminds me of the Attitude Era. What? How, dude? Sports World, how? How does it remind you of the Attitude Era? Who would you say has been the best breakout star in AEW? Guevara and Darby, for example. For me, I would say the best breakout star has been... I'm gonna say Darby. I'm gonna say MJF at 2. I think MJF would have been the biggest breakout star if he hadn't been injured for a while. I think he has got potential to be the biggest out of all of them that they've kind of developed. But they've got some great people coming through, like Jungle Boy, Orange Cassidy, who I do think just needs a slight tweak to his character. I think that it can take him too long to get going. Do you know what I mean? Like, when he's not involved in the matches, I totally understand him being very... Or when, like, the match doesn't really matter and he's not really bothered, I can understand the start being a bit... But I just kind of... There's been a few times where it's like, I've wanted him to get going now. Okay, now's the time, get going. It just takes him a little bit too long. But it's still a great gimmick that I really enjoy. So I do like Orange, I do like Darby, I do like MJF, I do like Jungle Boy. I think they've got some people that they are bringing through. Thomas Morehouse says, I've been watching WWE for 10 years. I'm not surprised at all that a wrestling promotion acts like a wrestling promotion. Hello, Jim. Hope you are well. FTR's first match is probably going to be against Butcher and Blade. That would make sense, yes, because they did attack them. Nia is in the Anoa'i family, and nearly all of them are wrestlers, so it's kind of sad how Nia couldn't carry on the legacy. Yeah, but not everyone's going to have those skills, are they? You know? And I don't know, there's a lot of people in that Anoa'i family, a lot of people, the Usos and Roman, and do you know what I mean? So if Nia doesn't have the skills as strong as others, I mean, she's still got a great look. I think that the way that she's presented is awful. I think her entrance music is awful. I think her ring attire is awful. There's so much about her gimmick, her creative, that's not even her fault, that's awful. But I know that's not the conversation. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, the jury is definitely out when it comes to her abilities in ring, and I don't know. Hopefully, someone is having that word or has had that word. What's your Mount Rushmore of AEW NXT tag teams? Wow, hard. I don't know, because straight away, I think Young Bucks have got to be on there. I think that Lucha Bros have got to be on there, but not for what they've done in AEW, more for what they did outside of AEW. You know, I think Kenny and that match earlier this year, Young Bucks versus Kenny and Hangman, was incredible. So I kind of think, wow, should Kenny and Hangman go in on that Mount Rushmore? I don't know, but then they're going to split soon. Can you put them in for the sake of a couple of matches? Because their match to win the titles was incredible as well. I don't know. I my gut feeling is Young Bucks, Lucha Bros. I loved American Alpha. American Alpha had some great matches. Revival had some great matches. Undisputed Era have had great matches. DIY have had great matches. I'm kind of around those names. So pick four from them. It'd probably be weighted a little bit more for NXT because it's been around longer, you know. So it might be that I have, say, Young Bucks from AEW, and then I have American Alpha. I think have got to go on DIY. And then, I don't know, do you go Undisputed Era or do you go Revival? Let's go Revival. So, yeah, let's do that. Young Bucks, American Alpha, DIY, Revival. I think that would be it. Days, how would you react if King Corbin was the one that retired Undertaker? I'd be super sad. What was the better special match statement? That's not even a question. Jake, that's not even a question. What is the better special match? Stadium, Boneyard, or Funhouse? Wow. Look, let's not go down those paths again because I made my feelings very clear during that Double or Nothing stream. And I received a small bit of backlash from hardcore AEW fans that disagreed with my sentiments on that. My feeling was that Stadium Stampede was two of the biggest factions, really the bedrock of AEW, what AEW is built on. It's built on the rivalry between Inner Circle and the Elite. Granted, you've got Dark Order coming through, and you've got people like Darby Allin that don't really affiliate with other people. But by and large, the company is built on the Elite and the Inner Circle. So when these two tribes are going to go to war, and it's your main event, and you've got an empty stadium, just think how epic that match is going to be. What I didn't expect was for it to be Comedy Central. I did not expect it to be wacky and zany and knocking out the mascot, which I didn't mind, actually. Out of all of the bits in that match, that bit I didn't mind. But questioning the decision, so going into that tent for a referral, and then like painting the white line over the top of Jericho whilst he was down and suplexing someone all the way down the field and changing clothes whilst you're in the water, and I don't know what it became. I don't know what it became. People clearly enjoyed it. People watched it and enjoyed it. I thought it was horrific. It is in my top 10 worst things I've seen this year, that Stadium Stampede. For that reason, for me, this is your two biggest factions going to war. So have a war, right? Have a war. You got an empty stadium. Go crazy. They did some good stuff in it. I will give them that. There was some really nice action. I think the frustrating thing for me was when they were doing stuff in the ring, you could see just how great a match between these two would be. Like, if you'd have done this as War Games, put it in a cage or something, wow. You're talking about one of the great War Games matches of all time, you know? You did, I don't know how you could present it, like having these two factions going at war. But I think what we ended up with was not for me. Let's put it that way. Not for me. So for me, that's by a mile the worst. Funhouse, I still don't know what it is. I think that it was interesting visually. I think that it was trying to tell a story. It wasn't a match. It's a special Funhouse episode. It's not. It's just not a match, and I don't know what it is. And so it's really hard to score it. I think in many ways it's null and void, because I wonder if Cena turned heel before WrestleMania. I wonder if Cena turned heel before, and this is how they showed. This is how they showed us why. This is how they worked together. Bray and Cena worked together to create this video for us to watch, to understand why he's a heel now. So when he comes back, Cena's going to be a heel, and that was all to show us why. That video was all to show us why. Now, if they've worked together on that to create that, to show us, you know, Cena finally accepting his own darkness and why, and the fact that he'd been fighting his failures in the past and things like that, then I think that's a very interesting presentation. It's not a match. There's no way that's a match. I think it's a very interesting presentation, and I can understand then. I start to understand what it is. So if it's that, then I'm on board. If it's we're looking inside the mind kind of weirdness, then I'm going to struggle with it. But the thing that WWE does quite well is they leave it open-ended. They leave it open to interpretation. So, I mean, we still don't know a lot of the answers that we wanted regarding the Firefly Funhouse, the original episodes. We've not had the answers for those. So, I do think that that's kind of null and void in a way, because we don't know what it was, but you can't compare it to, like, really Stadium or Boneyard. And for me, Country Mile, no doubt in my mind, Boneyard is incredible, brilliant, totally the other end of the scale. This was a fight. It had a couple of moments I didn't like in it. I'm going to admit, I didn't like the fact that Undertaker was in the grave and the next moment he's popping up behind AJ. Like, I don't want that spookiness. I don't want that supernaturalness, right? I wanted what we got, which was this straight up brawl, this straight up fight. And what's great is that you can do that match again, you know, for other superstars. So I'm looking forward to more Boneyards. Not so much in the Boneyard. Put it in different locations. Put it in different places. But I'm really looking forward to more. And hopefully we get Sting Undertaker that way one day, or, you know, although that is looking unlikely. So, personal opinion, Stadium Stampede, not for me, and I explain why. Funhouse, weird. We don't know what it is. I can't really score it. If it's the presentation that we spoke about, I think it's really cool. If it's weird, looking inside the mind kind of stuff, I'm going to struggle with that. And so that kind of has to just go off on the shelf, on the what is this shelf that we don't know what it is. But for me, Boneyard, I thought was excellent, absolutely brilliant. Although you still can't score it as like a proper match. I tell you, the other one I really enjoyed that I'd say was similar to Boneyard would be Money in the Bank. I thought Money in the Bank was really good because they were competing and working their way up and actually fighting. And I've got no problem with Rey Mysterio bursting into the toilets and there's Bruce Pritchard, like, as Brother Love. I mean, like, he could be there as Brother Love. I've got no problems with that happening. Doink, I hated. The Undertaker room, I hated. The food fight segment, I kind of thought was unnecessary. The Vince bit I thought was funny. I could see that actually happening. Do you know what I mean? Daniel and AJ fighting, they burst into Vince's office. They're not going to keep fighting. There is going to come a moment where they stop and go, oh, sorry, sir. Like, I totally believe that would happen. And putting the chairs back, sorry, sir. You know, I could totally believe that. So I like that. The throw-in off the roof, I'm glad that was explained. That there was a second roof just 6 foot lower. So I'm glad that was explained. If they'd actually thrown someone off the roof and they'd survived and come back the next week, I would have had a problem with that. So yeah, I thought that was the bit as well where AJ's lying there. He's got the weight on him, and he could quite clearly slide underneath it, but he doesn't. That was a bit strange as well. So it's not perfect. the Money in the Bank is not perfect. I'd say it's probably second to Boneyard, but I did enjoy it. Because it did have humor in it, but it fit, and it didn't go too far. So yeah, that's how I. But I'd love for AEW to give it another go. I'd love for WWE to keep doing them. I think they've been a big success, and we're going to see another one this weekend at NXT TakeOver with all the cars round in a circle, and we're going to see Adam Cole versus Velveteen Dream fighting inside a circle of cars. That's the rumor I keep reading. Elite Squad says, I think that Omega and Paige are going to lose the titles tonight. Right, let's go down. Let's see what 6 minutes. We have got 6 minutes. William Hensey, shout out to you, my friend. LSW, aka Early Squad Leader. Shout out, buddy. Shout out to LSW, the Early Squad Leader. And shout out to William Hensey as well. Thank you all for joining us. Yes, there is a bit of trouble with me seeing the super chats. They're not showing as visible as they used to, but I can go back if someone tells me they're there. Jody says hello from the ER again. Oh, Jody, why are you there, my friend? What's going down? What is going down? Let us know. Anna says, Days, you should be ashamed that you forgot Tamina in the Anoa'i family. How rude. Well, to be honest, Anna, the last thing I thought this conversation needed was Tamina to get included. So that was partly selective memory. So yeah, there we go. So shout out to everyone that's joining us. Days, do you think that Wardlow and MJF will split, as Wardlow went to confront MJF in a promo last week and then got hit by the diamond ring by MJF? And if so, do you think it will suit them better? To be honest, I don't think they're great together. They're not a partnership that really does anything for me. So I'm very interested in seeing them. Go their separate ways. I don't know if that's going to work for them, but as I said, I'm very interested to see how it plays out. And yeah, I'm genuinely looking forward to AEW tonight. I think that's, of the two shows, for those of you just joining us, I think AEW is the show that looks stronger on paper. This is a go-home show for NXT, and I'm not feeling it tonight for whatever reason. But I'm feeling it for the weekend. Is The Undertaker going to return? I would hope so. I think there's a lot of speculation that it could be revealed that his last match was that Boneyard match. I have seen him saying, though, that he'll never really retire. We actually did a video on this on the Wrestling Escape Pod channel. So Undertaker did an interview where he said he'll never retire. He could finish in ring, but then he'll do stuff behind the scenes. He'll do some producing, or he'll do the odd thing where he never really does other stuff. Never really does wrestling and focuses on other things. So I think I don't know. It's hard to say if he's done. I think if they can find another role for him, I think he would transition into that. I think that's what he needs, actually. So, it's a really good question, because I think that's what he needs. He needs to have another responsibility. That's what he needs. He needs for them to find him something else to do. And then I think it would be easier for him, because I think where he's sat at home, not doing anything, and they're like, do you want another match at Mania? I think that's where he very much is like, yeah, let's do it, because I'm bored, kind of a thing, and I miss it. Whereas if he was working backstage, then I think it would be a bit easier for him. Jody, here we go. Let's see what's happening with Jody. Jody says, check in for blood clot in my thigh. A pinched nerve from my bone spur in my knee. Better safe than sorry. Wow, dude. Thoughts are with you, my friend. I can't believe it. You really go through the wars, don't you? Really go through the wars. So, well, yes, better safe than sorry, Jody. Better safe than sorry, as you said. So, Shout out, thoughts are with you, my friend. Keep us updated when you get any more news. Jerry, shout out to you. FT_OK21 Gaming says it's my birthday. Can you shout me out? Shout out to you. Days, look at what Adam Cole tweeted. Just let us know, bud. Let us know. Honestly, I'm just trying to send this message out, which I've just sent, and I'm just now trying to attach it, pin it to the top. I haven't even had a chance to send a tweet out to let people know that we're streaming. So, yeah, just drop it in. What did he say? Shout out to Wrestling Days fan. Hope you are well. There are some weird stickers. T-minus 2 minutes, 1 minute 16. I've made an original song. Amazing. Connor says, thoughts are with you, Jody. Shout out to Michael Davis. Hope you are well. Can see the excitement very much building. Days, is the cold dream in a car park WWE counter program in AEW? AEW announced Best Friends Lucha Bros in a parking lot, but it's been postponed. Is this WWE saying we did it first? Well, that's very interesting because I never considered it that way. I don't know, you know. I don't know if... I don't want to say that they wouldn't be that petty because I've got no way of proving that. But that would be very petty, wouldn't it? That would be very petty. And plus also, I think lessons were definitely learnt during the Monday Night Wars. If you go back to Monday Night Wars, Vince says that, yes, it got scary at times and they didn't know that they'd be able to hang on long enough, but they did know the product was going to come good. They did know that because they focused on themselves. They knew what talent they had. They knew they could tell great stories, and they had confidence that it was going to play out, you know, and work in their favor ultimately. They just didn't know if they had enough time. So for WWE to be looking at AEW and trying to get a match in before they do it kind of goes against that. And I'm not sure that they would do that. I'm not saying they wouldn't. I'm just saying I'm not sure they would. Candice is coming out and lots of booze. She's got slightly different ring attire. You can kind of see some beaver cleavage now. Well, actually, hang on. Let me rephrase that. Let's just go with boobage. She's got the Leraes out. That's what she's got. So, slightly different ring attire for this slightly different persona that she has now. Pint-sized poison. Booze raining down on Candice Lerae. Mia Yim, isn't it? Right, let's go over. We've just got what happened last week on AEW. Mia Yim. Do love Mia Yim's entrance music. Candice LeRae. NXT versus AEW, the Wednesday Night Wars. Who's Candice LeRae? I don't know who Candice is. There we go. Let's go, Candice. Rolls Royce. Okay, we've got Britt Baker watching on. We've got the librarians at ringside. There's Vicky Guerrero as well. Right, we're underway with Mia Yim against Candice LeRae. Should be a good match, this. It's had a decent build. I'm not sure what we're starting with AEW yet. Vicky Guerrero is on AEW. Yes, she has been for the past few weeks. Sean says, Days, Adam Cole said tonight will be a special one for the Undisputed Era. Amazing, thank you. Sean Rossett, very interesting. I don't know why, but I'm pumped for AEW. I think, as we said, on card, they've got the better matches tonight. The more intriguing stuff. Unfortunately, out of everything that's been advertised for NXT, this is the match I was probably looking forward to the most. They're starting with it, so I don't know where they can go after this. But, well, at least this match is going to get quite a bit of time, so I'm looking forward to that. She's getting dragged in, full Nelson, but Candice breaks out, manages to kick Mia Yim in the head. Let's go, Candice. Candice going over, big right hand, strikes to the back. Fiend, Sting, or Kane are the only people I'd like to see retire Undertaker or have his final match. That TNT match picture looks good. I think match of the year so far, WWE, is Bate versus Devlin. Both shows should be pretty good, says J14. Tag matches happening. Yes, you're right. We've just got Kip Sabian making his way out now on... nice sent on by Candice. So, Kip Sabian. So, Kip Sabian... Jimmy Havoc versus wow, this text is big. This is big text. Sabian Havoc versus Omega and Page. Right, so we've just got these entrances happening right now. We're well underway with this match over on NXT. Candice being dragged in to the ring and a 2 count. Days, is the Hall of Fame still set to be at SummerSlam? Yes, that's the latest news I heard. It is still set to be at SummerSlam. Okay, here comes the Hangman. Hangman coming out. Right, here comes Candice running over, charging into Mia Yim, colliding into her. Mia knocking Candice to the outside. And Mia stepping outside the ring. We're just waiting for Kenny Omega to make his entrance. Mia Yim striking Candice across the back. Mia picking up Candice and hurling her into the railing. That was moody. Do love those letters, look awesome, don't they? Do love those letters. Does look very, very cool. Those NXT letters. We've had them a few weeks now, but just really seeing them. They look really smart. Takedown. So this is a real brawl. Some nasty strikes from Candice. Didn't look great. Bell's rung, and that's it. It's going to be a double count out. We're going to be done with this match. We're only 6 minutes in, and we're done with this match. Mia has picked up Candice. She's got her up. And head scissors driving Mia into the LED screen. And Tegan has come down. Tegan has... Tegan has moved Candice back, but now Dakota has come out and she's beating up on Mia Yim. Now we've got Shotzi Blackheart. So Dakota, Shotzi, Raquel Gonzalez, Tegan Knox. Big brawl right now. Still, we haven't even started the first match on AEW. We've got Mia going back out over after Candice. It's a brawl. It is a brawl. It's a full-on brawl right now. Johnny's come out. Here's Johnny having a word with one of the referees because he was touching Candice. Candice goes running after Mia. Collides into the back of her. Throwing some right hands. Slamming down Mia. Oh, here comes Keith. Here comes Keith. I do like the fact that they're acknowledging the Keith-Mia relationship. I do like that. So Keith Lee comes down. Here we go. Keith Lee getting in. Candice and Johnny are running away. Johnny's like, yeah! Pointing down at the "in your house" sign on the floor. I'll see you there, baby. Yeah! Johnny Gargano bringing some humor to NXT. Tag team match has been made. Who made that match? Who made that match? All of a sudden, it just got announced that we were going to get a tag team match next. But who made it? Did the refs just make that match? Did the refs on NXT just go, do you know what I fancy? I fancy seeing all of these in action. Should we let's do the match. Right, you lot, you're having a match now. Have they got authority to do that? Is NXT gone wild? What's happening? I don't know what's happening on NXT. Refs gone wild again. Do you remember that? Refs are doing it for themselves. Refs are doing it for themselves. Right, over on AEW, the tag titles are on the line. William Regal made it. Was he there? I didn't see him. Did Regal come out? Was Regal there? Let me know. I did not see. I did not see Mr. Regal. Don't tell me the refs are making matches again. Well, apparently it was Regal, but I didn't see him there. Oh, it was announced. Yeah, well, I have to have the sound turned down, don't I? Okay, apparently it was announced. So, there we go. I thought refs were going rogue. I thought the refs had gone rogue. The feed has just ended on Fight for AEW. I'm just refreshing and we're back. Okay. Slight drama. Seems like there was a small issue on Fight. If you refresh it, then it does pop back. So we are at commercial break for NXT. We are going to have a tag match coming up next over on AEW. We're underway with Omega and Page versus Havoc and Sabian. Didn't hear Regal. Apparently it was announced. Hello to Greg. FTR are in the audience. Oh, hello. I haven't seen that. Right, here we go. Omega. Big chop to Jimmy Havoc. Some nice tag team work here by... why doesn't Kip Sabian get in? How is this allowed? How is it allowed that these two are just beating up and Kip Sabian's not getting involved? Right, now Sabian gets involved. Why did he stand there? I don't understand. His partner was getting beaten up and he was just kind of standing there watching. Springboard. He goes for a crossbody. Now we got Penelope going up top. Penelope up top. Well, there we go. Look, that failed. That failed for Penelope. You're out of there. Penelope being thrown from ringside. She went for a head scissor takedown. Another Stormy Sunny. There goes Penelope. Yeah, you're out of there. Right, we're back on NXT. Let's change this match lineup. Yim and Lerae versus... I'm loving this. That is great. Keith Lee had Gargano up in the air and on his back. Look, he's just walking around with Candice on his back. It's like he's got a little backpack on. She doesn't know what to do. Funny. Right, we're underway. Yim and Lerae, what am I doing? Yim and Lee. There we go. Right, we are underway with both of these. Hello, Days. Who's your pick to win the Cruiserweight Championship? With Riddle going to SmackDown, pretty sure Dijakovic to Raw. Looks like Velveteen Dream will be called up too soon. Well, it's probably going to end up being Drake Maverick, isn't it, that will win it? Finn Balor, Damian Priest are in your house, so we got tag matches underway. I gotta say, I'm not a fan of one match being turned into another. But this is a match that I've wanted to see, is these two teams going at it. And this is a match I thought we were going to get it in your house, in all fairness. So a good start by NXT. Johnny is having to compete in clothes, by the way. That's something I've not pointed out. He's wearing black jeans, trainers. He's got a white jacket on. Keith Lee as well is in... trainers and sweatpants. It's Casual Wednesday. That's what we've got going on. It's only the ladies that are in their wrestling attire. I do like that, though. It kind of gives this a bit of an unplanned feel, you know? Kind of makes it feel a little bit raw, a little bit unscripted, even though it's totally scripted. I like that as well. I like how Mia Yim has got her foot on the face of Candice, and as she's kicking her in the face, she's looking over, talking trash to Johnny Gargano. I think that's awesome. Over on AEW, Kenny has just been tagged in. Big strikes by Kenny. Goes for another one. Kick to the midsection by Kip Sabian. Kenny has got Sabian up on his shoulders. He's parading him around. Hurled into the corner. Sabian coming over. Back elbow by Omega. Big boot, though, by Sabian. And Omega goes back into the corner. Sabian charging over. Omega gets out the way. A pin attempt by Mia Yim. And Johnny comes in. Breaks it up. That obviously brings over a very angry Keith Lee. I tell you what, an angry Keith Lee is a scary thing. Watching him just storming over to Johnny then. Grabs Johnny, hurls him in. Look at that, pulls the jacket over his head. Now strikes to the midsection. Hurling Johnny across the ring. I'm into this match. I think they've been holding Keith back a little bit. I think all those matches against Dijakovic, against Damian Priest, that never-ending feud, I'm so bored of that. Seeing him in there with someone like Johnny now, I think is brilliant. This could be a real classic. Their match at In Your House has got every potential in the world of being the greatest wrestling match ever. Eye poke by Johnny. Eye poke. Oh, he used his keys. He had his keys on him. Lerae rolls up Mia Yim. Lerae gets it. Wow. Candice was trying to steal the belt as well. This is carnage. It's brilliant carnage. Candice had grabbed the belt. She was trying to take the belt for Johnny, even though he's not won the belt. Johnny got caught by Keith. Candice has to leave the belt to try and grab Johnny instead. Oh, now the ring steps get kicked. And Keith Lee's hand was in there. There we go. Look, the pieces are all falling into place. And Johnny takes the belt. He takes that North American championship. That was good. That whole, do you know what? That whole thing, that whole sequence, really good. The first match was an intriguing match. It ended in a double count out. Then I thought the refs had made a tag match. Then we get a tag match. It's hard hitting. It's just lots of stuff to keep an eye on there. But the end result is that Johnny is and Candice are victorious. He does leave the belt on the floor and waves goodbye as they walk away. Great stuff. Well done, NXT. We're still underway with this tag team championship match. Here we go. Omega on the shoulders of Jimmy Havoc. Havoc driving him into Hangman Page that's in the corner. Up top is Kip Sabian. Sabian, double stomp. Double stomp from the top. Jimmy Havoc coming in. Havoc. Oh. Looking to get the 3 count on Omega. In comes Hangman to make the save. We just got a video package hyping up Karrion Kross against Tommaso in your house. That'll be amazing this Sunday. That card. Right, big forearm strike by Kip Sabian. Who is your pick? Oh, he answered that, Matthew. I think it'll be Drake Maverick. I've never seen someone win a match with car keys, says Jerry. Neither have I. Not that I can remember. Kip Sabian, springboard, drop kick to the back of Kenny Omega. Looking for a reverse Rana. Gets it on Omega. What I hate, this isn't just about this match. It's about wrestling as a whole. Reverse Rana should be a finisher. Should be a finisher. It's one of the most impressive moves, and he's just hit it and hasn't even gone for a pin. Here's Dexter. Dexter's here. Let's see what Dexter Loomis has got to say. Just stares and walks away. Brilliant. That's all it needed. That's all it needed. Oh, he's come back. He's come back. He's come back with a board and some pens. So he's not going to say, is he going to draw a picture? I'd love a Mattel figure of Dexter Loomis with this. I don't know what Dexter Loomis is we've left. We've just left him. Dexter Loomis has turned into Bob Ross. Dexter Loomis has turned into Bob Ross. He's going to drop a happy little tree into his picture. Oh, my God. I tell you what, if Dexter Loomis was to start making arts and then sell them, they would do very well on WWE Shop. He could do a cat and a cow and like lots of wardrobe and just lots of little wonderful things. He's turned into Bob Ross. There we go. Look, we've got victory for Paige. Paige getting the pin. FTR were in the crowd. Not in the crowd around ringside. They're in the stands further back. They were watching on as Omega and Paige retain those titles. FTR, I'm guessing, will be impressed. Dexter the Painter. It was amazing, isn't it? It's amazing. Okay, so victory for the champions over on AEW. We are at commercial break for NXT right now. I think we're probably going to commercial break for AEW. Dexter the Artist, yes, please. I can't wait to see what happens. What happy accidents occur, yes. He's going to put a happy little tree in. And do you think he'll do that thing with the pens where you go... Do you remember Bob Ross used to do that with his paintbrushes on the easel? He'd be like, right, we'll just clean We'll just clean our little brush now. Tap it in and... I like to beat the devil out of it sometimes. Bob Ross, Bob Ross, Bob Ross. Love Bob Ross. Legend. Hopefully there'll be more of the Dexter promo, or it'll be pointless. Oh, yeah, you'll get more. You'll get more. And the fact that we've gone away means we can go back and it can look like anything. Do you know, I don't know what to expect. I don't know if he's just writing words, right? But what if it's just like this horrific picture? That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? What if it's like a really good picture? What if he's like a really good artist? Something tells me he is. Something tells me he is. So what if he's like a really great artist? It's like, whoa, I don't know, I'm excited. I beat the devil out of my brushes too. There we go. Legend has it that in school, Dexter Lumis took an art class every year. I believe. Can someone tell me in the chat, NXT in your house, Saturday or Sunday? Well, I'm not in... Well, hang on. Let me do it. I'll do it for you. Here we go. It's Sunday. There, I've answered that for you. Days, Loomis actually knows how to draw. I saw some of his arts on Twitter. Well, there we go. Let's see what he's got then. Let's see what he's got for us. UFC 250, that is Saturday. He's going to do a picture of Days and Linda. Oh, could you imagine? I think Johnny Gargano will beat Keith Lee, and then Keith Lee will go for the NXT championship. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. You called it, Days. It's Vape, not Bob. Dexter Lumis needs to paint some happy little trees. He does. He does. Right, we're back with NXT. We're back with AEW. Keith Lee versus Adam Cole. Oh, yes. Did you see this Tully promo? This Tully promo is absolutely incredible. It's honestly up there for promo of the year. If you don't change something in your heart, that will never happen. So passionate. Here's Tully. Tully says he's got the missing piece. He's got a box and there's something in a box and he says this is the missing piece. It's a glove. There was a look in the eyes there of Sean. A look in the eyes that seemed like he had gone to a darker place there. A new identity. They're saying it could be a new identity for Sean Spears. Could be that glove's got some weight in it or something. It could be that it's a gimmick glove. Do you know what I mean? Might not be the right side of legal. Right, we're just looking at NXT. We're just looking at... Dream. And Adam Cole promo. Jordan, shout out to you, my friend. I hope everything's okay. Yeah, we've just got Dream on roller skates. He's round the back of Full Sail by the looks of it. Right, Brian Cage is making his way down for AEW. Brian Cage. Okay, so they're just getting something to eat at a local restaurant. Okay, we're underway. I didn't even see who this guy was called. I was watching this NXT promo, just watching the Undisputed Era, having some dinner. Taz is at ringside. Belly to belly by Brian Cage, and this guy just gets thrown across the ring. Taz likes what he sees. I don't think the Dream should win for the allegations he's got against him. I do think that's a big problem. I completely agree. I think it's a big, big problem. I don't care about that main event either as a result. I don't know what the truth is on that. The allegations have been made publicly, and now it seems to be, I don't want to say being swept under the carpet, because I'm sure there are things going on. But until we know the truth, I agree. It's completely the wrong time for this match. Right, Brian Cage is absolutely dominating here. Should Jackson Riker be fired? No, I don't think he should be fired. He didn't share anything that was hateful. He didn't say anything that was hateful. Just because you might not agree with his opinion, it wasn't. I don't think he should be fired. I would love to see Tully versus Taz versus Jake versus Arn. Nia Jax in trouble, says Caden. Brian Cage with the victory. So, squash match. Velveteen Dream is talking to Prince in a mirror. Right, we're going to hear from Taz. My dad, I'm really sorry to hear that, Jordan. Thoughts are definitely with you, my friend. For his Facebook post. Oh, I've not seen the Facebook post. I don't know anything about that. I like that they're recognizing the problem with Spears, says Welly. That's a really good point, yes. Taz says, we don't play games, Mox. This is not a game. This is serious. Beat him if you can, survive if he lets you. We got Moxley's music about to start playing. Moxley coming through the crowd. There isn't a crowd. But if there was, he'd be coming through it. Backlot brawl. So that's what we've got. We've got a backlot brawl. Oni Lorcan, Danny Burch versus question mark versus Undisputed Era. So tonight we've got a triple threat tag team match. Oni Lorcan, Danny Burch, Undisputed Era taking on a mystery team as well. So commercial break for NXT. We got Moxley here to address Brian Cage. Moxley through the crowd. Backlot brawl, yes, that's what's just been announced. So apparently part of that is them fighting in this circle of cars. If Dream loses, he doesn't get another title shot. That was, yeah, I think there's a good chance of that. That was definitely part of the negotiations last week. I personally think he should lose and then go away for a little while. And then once these allegations are cleared up, bring him up to the main roster. That's how I would deal with Velveteen. Adam Cole should retain. I agree, Caitlin. And when Karrion Kross beats Tommaso, he should face Adam Cole and win so that Adam could go to the main roster with Undisputed Era. Okay, so Moxley is just talking to Brian. We are at commercial break for NXT. Trying to take this championship away from me is a different prospect entirely. So he's talking to Brian here, warning Brian. You're swimming with a different breed of shark. Drops the mic. He says, next time you bring my name up on TV, just remember who the hell you're talking about. So, harsh words, strong words by Moxley. Moxley walking away. That was a weird cut then. That was a weird cut. He was just outside the ring with the belt on his shoulder, walking quite slow. They cut to Brian Cage. When they cut back, he's walking quite fast and the belt's not on his shoulder anymore. Is this live? Because that felt a little weird then, the way that was. Is this live? Is AEW live tonight or is it taped? That just seemed very strange, a very strange edit. Talking of strange, I still want to see what Dexter Lumis is up to. Here we go. He's drawn a picture, and it's a great picture. It's a car, and I think Lumis is in the driving seat. It is very impressive. It's, look at that, he's just staring. Who's in the back? Undisputed Era. That's really cool. It's got, in your house logo, a car, Dexter Lumis sat in the front, and you got Undisputed Era just sat in the back, and they seem to be all beaten up. So Lumis sending a message. I wonder if Adam Cole retains and Lumis is going to be the next to go for the title. Tony Nese on his way. Tony. Wonderful, Dexter, says your boy. If you are just joining us, 37 minutes in. Both shows have been quite solid, actually. Both shows have been good. Really enjoyed the start of NXT. I think the tag match on AEW was strong as well. And we've got Isaiah Swerve making his way down now. Isaiah Swerve. Isaiah Swerve. There we go. Definitely spelled Isaiah wrong. Okay, ground and pound straight away. Isaiah straight in there, flailing away. Days AEW is taped and NXT is live tonight. Oh, I wonder if there was just a little edit there, because that just looked, just that little moment, just looked a little fractured. No, nothing big. No, I don't care. I'm just saying. It just looked a little weird. Right, here we go. We've got, I don't know what this match is for. Is this just to finish off the bracket? Isaiah Swerve on the outside, jumping in. Tony Nese coming over. Big strike. Down goes Isaiah Swerve. Yeah, I don't know how to spell it. I should find the correct spelling. I did spell it correctly, and then it turns out I didn't have the caps lock on, so I had to redo it. Isaiah Swerve. Oh, there we go. A-I-A. There we go. A-I-A. Boom. Boom. Right. Just got here. What did I miss? You've missed quite a bit, but nothing important. Right, we're in some kind of... Where are we? We're with Lance Archer. Lance Archer is with Jake. They seem to be outside some kind of scrapyard, is it? Jake seems very concerned. Jake saying, I'm sorry about him. Stern words from Lance Archer. Slim Dog Rico, I am good, thank you. Days, I will DM you Riker's Facebook post. Okay, bud. Yeah, I've not seen any Facebook post. I just saw the tweet that we did the video on. Isaiah Swerve. Oh, nice guillotine. I tell you what, we've got some MMA influence coming into NXT at the moment. Guillotine choke on right now. And he's got body scissors. Isaiah Swerve trying to stand up, so looks like that guillotine is not properly cinched in, or at least he's managing to turn it into a suplex. Great by Isaiah Swerve. Matt Hardy is in a bar with Private Party. Over on NXT, we got Isaiah throwing in strikes and a kick. Here we go. Isaiah gets taken down face first. Lands on the mat. Here we go. Oh, springboard off the middle rope. Up and to the outside. Goes down on the outside, Tony Nese. Isaiah Swerve on the edge of the ring. Goes for a big boot. Down goes Tony Nese. It's been a very explosive match, this. Got to give him credit. A match that I just wouldn't care about is holding my attention here. It's very fast-paced. They're doing some lovely back and forth. Isaiah Swerve looking over at the ring steps now. Hurling Tony Nese into those ring steps. And throwing him back into the ring. So Isaiah Swerve, Tony Nese, this match continuing. Okay, here we go. Oh, right in the throat there from Tony Nese. Big right hand. Big right hand by Isaiah Swerve. Back elbow. Here we go. Asaya up on the middle rope. And is this Jack Gallagher on his way down? Jack Gallagher just distracts Isaiah Swerve. Roll up by Isaiah. 1, 2, 3. And Isaiah gets the win. Jack Gallagher gets into the ring, but Isaiah runs away. Manages to get out of the ring. And Isaiah Swerve gets the victory. That was a good match, that. How many cars do you think will be damaged in the backlot brawl match? I think there will be some. So Isaiah Swerve picks up the victory in what was a very good match. Start of NXT I thought was very strong. It's just a couple of things in NXT that I just really not a fan of at the moment. But that match was excellent. And we know that we've got a tag team match coming up. We're trying to find the #1 contenders. We've got Undisputed Era. So Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish seem to be the two that are going to be competing here. Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish. So I think that's coming next. And a mystery team as well. So we don't know who this third tag team is going to be. So 45 minutes in. Both shows have gone to commercial break. And I think NXT's keeping its momentum going. I think AEW... it's doing a bit of storytelling. It's all right. But I think NXT's just a touch ahead so far for me, which is amazing. Because before this started, I said I was more into what AEW had on paper. I do think that AEW has still got Cody Jungle Boy, which I think is going to be match of the night. So they've still got that to come. They've still got a few things actually lined up, which I think looks very good. So I think AEW has still got the potential to be the better show tonight. But I do think that at the start, probably I'd be leaning towards NXT. But both shows doing well so far. Both shows doing well. Days, love you, been here for 3 years. The Taker Under. Shout out to you, my friend. Yeah, boy says NXT. It's been good. It's been good. Where are we? We've got 14 minutes till we're going to be at the halfway point, and then we'll get your thoughts. I really enjoyed Johnny Gargano earlier, bringing a little bit of comedy, having a little bit of fun with the beginning of his tag match. I thought that tag match and the end of it, and the carnage and the keys and Candice grabbing the belt, and I thought all of that was really good. The picture from Dexter Lumis, I enjoyed that as well. Over on AEW, I really liked the tag match to start us off with. I thought it was a really, not a great match, I just thought it was really solid. So I thought that was good. Brian Cage looked good in his little beatdown. I like the fact that they're doing something with Sean Spears and kind of mixing that up. So I think that's good as well. So, yeah, it's all good, man. It's all positive. AEW is going slow tonight. I do think NXT has started the better, says Monica. Days, do you think WWE live events will be back next month? Because I have tickets to SmackDown. Difficult, my friend. Difficult. We don't know when events are going to be back up and running. So, yeah, very, 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 very difficult to say. But I hope you get to go. No doubt about that. I hope that they're back for you. But hard to say. Days, you're almost at 200,000. Yeah, if anyone's watching and they haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe. We are on that road. I think we are sneaking up to 190. I don't think we're too far from 191. So we are definitely getting closer. We are definitely getting closer to that big 200. And that would be huge. That would be incredible to reach that milestone. I never thought the channel would get to 100, so with 200,000 so close. Amazing. We're just having a look at Fyter Fest. We're back with AEW. They're just giving us a video package. We know that we've got Moxley versus Brian Cage. Fyter Fest is a 2-night event. It's going to be on July 1st and July 8th. So Fyter Fest is going to be what? It's going to take over. It's going to replace Dynamite for 2 weeks, is it? So it's not so much a pay-per-view. I think it's going to replace Dynamite for a couple of weeks, Fyter Fest. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Right, here we go. We're going towards this triple threat match. Undisputed Era. Taking on Lorcan and Birch. Just AEW showing us last week with Tyson. Trini, thank you for the support, my friend. Thank you to all of you. Really appreciate it. Okay, so just a recap of what happened last week with Tyson and Jericho on AEW. Undisputed Era have made their way to the ring. Talking of momentum, this should be a great match. Doesn't really matter who the third team is. Undisputed Era are excellent. Lorcan and Birch always give a good showing of themselves. Said maybe it doesn't matter so much who that third team's going to be. But I'm intrigued to find out. Definitely intrigued to find out. Might be someone like Everrise or someone like that. Over on AEW, we're just going to move towards Jericho and Colt Cabana. Jericho versus Colt Cabana. Okay, here's Lorcan and Birch. So we just need to find out who is the mystery team. Who is the mystery team? I don't think it's going to be anyone that excited. I'm not expecting Demolition. Here we go. Ah, is it commercial break? Is it? No? Who is this team? They're coming out like astronauts. It's Breezeango! Yes! I was wrong. It is an amazing team. Breezeango! Ah! Breezeango have come out like astronauts. The screen just went black. And then they started to like walk their way across. I love these two. These two do comedy so well. I've missed them. Breezeango, man. They should win. I want to see Breezeango. Amazing. Here they are. Love these guys. Exactly what NXT needs right now. We've been saying it needs some comedy, and I was praising Johnny for doing a little bit of humor earlier, having a little dance around and whatever. And then here come Breezeango, who can definitely bring the comedy aspect, and they have. They're here in the week after the SpaceX launch. Or is it the week of? I don't even know when it happened. But the boys are here dressed as astronauts. I'll tell you what, they're gonna. Oh, this is gonna be a tough one to call, man. For me, it's between Undisputed Era or Breezeango, and I think Breezeango would make the most sense. So Tyler Breeze is starting us off. Bobby Fish as well. Over on AEW, we got Jericho and Colt Cabana. Boom, boom, Colt Cabana. That was great. That was great. That was great. I honestly was sitting here expecting Everrise or I don't even know what's happened to the Indian guys. Do you remember the Indian guys? They would have been cool. I would have been down for seeing them again. But I haven't seen them in a few weeks. But yeah, Breezeango. I love Tyler Breeze. If there's someone that I would love to see get a championship, it's him. I'd love to see him get a belt. I don't think he's ever won one. And he's been in for a long time. Ah. Right, clothesline. Birch. Strong goes to the outside. Roll up Bobby Fish. I don't know if this is this just the first team to get the pin or is it like elimination? I like the idea. With these triple threat matches, I like the idea that if you get pinned, you're out and the match just continues. Rather than just, you know, first one to get the pin wins the match. I think they should do it as an elimination thing. I think that would be better. Right, we've got a little commercial break now and just seeing a little thing for Backlash. Oh, that was great. That's my moment of the night so far. My moment of the night so far. I am a big Breezeango fan. I do love Tyler Breeze. I'd love to see him get an opportunity at a belt and win a championship. I think that'd be so cool. If he does go forward, if they do win this, I can't say that he's going to be victorious because they've only just put those titles on Imperium. So I can't say they're going to take the titles off of them yet, but Days, do you think they might have Dream beat Adam Cole so Undisputed Era can return at SmackDown? SummerSlam. I honestly, predicting the future is so difficult. So difficult because we just don't know. We don't know when they're getting back to touring and all this kind of stuff. I'm not sure they know. So I've got to say, I don't think there's going to be mass call-ups at the moment. You might see the odd. I mean, there's rumours about Chelsea Green and Dijakovic. I'm not sure you're going to see anything other than that. So I'm going to say no to Undisputed Era going to Raw or SmackDown yet. So I wouldn't factor that into your thinking because this is a very, very unusual time. Can we do halftime scores now? Yeah, let's do your halftime. Yeah, do your halftime scores now. Both shows are at commercial break. Now would be a good time to do it. Fire them in. Days, I could see Imperium getting involved, and then it would be a fatal four-way, says LSW. Amazing. Dream will lose at TakeOver, thanks to some interference from Finn Balor. And that, boys and girls, is undisputed, says John Elite. The secret is Seth Rollins will go to NXT and attack Undisputed Era with his boys. Ooh. Didn't know Fandango had come back from injury. No, I didn't. Hadn't heard anything about it. Lovely surprise. 8.75 from LSW. Scott Turner says NXT is a 6 to a 5. Sonny Wolf says 7 out of 10 for both. Trini2 says Black Lives Matter 7. Scott Turner says 6.5. Robin 813 says NXT 8. Greg says 4. John says NXT 8, AEW 6. 725 for both, says John Elite. Jags says 6, but I'm not sure what show. Big DJZ, shout out to you, my friend. Bask in his glory. Sonny Wolf giving a 7 out of 10 for both. Travante 99 giving 6.59 for both. NXT 7.5. NXT is looking good, says DJ B Tazzy. Christian will be hosting the Peep Show on Raw. Yes, I did hear that news. Right, we are back, my friends. We are back. We are well underway with this triple threat tag match. Okay, here we go. Tyler Breeze in there with Roderick Strong. And Danny Burch, Roderick Strong, doing some good work. I mean, these three in a triple threat would be incredible. All three of these are great, great wrestlers. Great wrestlers. Here we go. Danny Burch throwing Roderick Strong across the ring. Super kick by Tyler Breeze. Missile drop kick by Danny Burch. These three down. This is a number one contenders match. We're still underway, by the way. We've just come back to AEW. We're still underway with Jericho against Colt Cabana. Boom, boom, Colt Cabana. So we're still underway with that over on AEW. Couple of back elbows by Roderick Strong. He hurls Tyler Breeze into Danny Burch. Picks up backbreaker. Ooh, Bobby Fish on the outside. Back elbow to Burch. Only Lorcan can't get into this match. Fandango, I don't think, wants in. Tyler Breeze definitely doing the heavy lifting for his team right now. Definitely doing the heavy lifting. Big boot by Bobby Fish. Few strikes coming in. Aubrey's got her gloves on. Does that mean there's a bit of blood somewhere? Just keeping an eye on this match as well between Jericho and Colt. Jericho looking for a... Oh, gets thrown into the corner there by Colt. Sammy Guevara's on his little scooter on the entrance stage. Fandango trying to jump into the ring. Big kicks coming in by Roderick Strong. No, doesn't even get a 2 count, but he's going for a Kimura. He's got a wrist lock on Tyler Breeze. He was kind of going for a pin and a wrist lock at the same time. Matty Cliff says, do you think Seth is working for The Fiend? I don't think he's working for The Fiend, but I do think that he's let his own darkness in. So I do think that Seth is in a dark place. I'm not sure that he's working for The Fiend. Here we go. Fandango is been tagged in. Big boot. Fandango, flying knee. Down goes Roderick Strong. Bobby Fish. Power slam bite. And another one there by Fandango. Fandango is back. Oh, beautiful DDT. Picks up. Nice driver. 1, 2. Bobby Fish makes the save. Here we go. Only Lorcan is in now. So we got Fandango, Lorcan, and Fish. Great energy to this match. Into the corner goes Lorcan. Clothesline to Roderick Strong as he goes to the other corner. Oh, nice. Here we go. Fandango, uppercut. He goes down. Lorcan, just an absolute ball of activity. The speed of this match. Up and over the top. Gets thrown down on a load of people that were on the outside. Never a fan of that spot. Here we go. Fandango against the ropes. Burch throws Fandango over the top, and we get that spot again. Just in case you missed the first one, we get it again. Where they go falling on top of a load of people. Super kick attempt by Tyler Breeze. Big right hands coming in by Danny Burch. Burch going against the ropes. Super kick by Breeze. In comes Undisputed. No. I really want Fandango to win this. Colt Cabana going for the pin on Jericho. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. Sammy Guevara watching on. Jake Hager watching on. Just another 2 count there for Colt. Dexter Loomis is at ringside. Not cheering or chanting or shouting. Drops the leg from the top. Fandango 1, 2. Yes! Fandango with the win. Yes! Breezeango versus Imperium. Leg drop from the top. Oh, I really want him to win, but I'm just worried it's too soon. Jericho has picked up the victory as well. So that match ending just as this match was ending. Sammy Guevara celebrating, doing circles on the entrance stage. Breezeango are celebrating. Here come Imperium, though, in the background. Here they are. Here's Imperium. Eichner and Bartel. Oh, and here's those Indian guys. Is this Biven Enterprises? I love these guys. Yeah, great. I love that Indian tag team. Love them. Think they look awesome. In ring wise, they're they're still a little green, but I think they've got such a great look. Imperium obviously representing Europe and NXT UK. Breezango, I really love the tag division right now where it is. You know, you've got 4 great teams there with Undisputed Era, Breezango, I don't know what they're called. I don't know their name. They were called Biven Enterprises, I think, but I think they changed it for the Indian guys. And then you've got Imperium. Lovely stuff. So Jericho says he's calling out the baddest man. He's calling out Tyson. Baddest man on the planet. Is Marco Stunt going to come out? He says, I want the baddest man. Orange Cassidy comes out. Orange Cassidy. So Jericho calling out the baddest man on the planet. Here comes Orange Cassidy. Here he is. I wondered if Marco Stunt might. And here we go. He rolls under that bottom rope. As the orange rolls. Here's Orange Cassidy. What's he doing? He's putting Jericho's hands in his own pockets. Jericho's smiling. Hager going for a clothesline. Duck underneath by Orange. Orange rolls out the ring. Goes over to Best Friends and they put him into the audience. Here comes Santana and Ortiz. I don't know what this is leading towards. Okay, so I'm guessing we're building to somewhere between the Inner Circle and Best Friends. So Jericho calling out the baddest man on the planet. Out came Orange Cassidy. It was a great little moment. As we go to commercial break again. I want Christian to stay with Edge until after SummerSlam so that they can have a rivalry like Seth and Dean did. They finally changed the rule on a person from each. Oh, I didn't see the rest of that, and it went. My cousin was in ECW, says Killian. That's amazing. Right, we're going back. We've got 52 minutes left. We're going back to NXT. Okay, so we are at commercial break for AEW. Okay, so this was last week. Where Chelsea parted ways with Robert Stone. So she walks away. The rumors are that she's going to go to the main roster. Right, Aaliyah making her way down. She was trying to get Robert Stone's attention. So Aaliyah making her way down. I don't know if Robert Stone's going to be watching this because seemingly he doesn't have Chelsea Green anymore. She really did want to impress him last time. What will you do if you hit 1 million? Not even thinking about that. Okay, don't know who she's facing, but Aaliyah in the ring. They finally changed the rule. One person from each team in the ring at the same time. Yeah, I think, didn't we see that in place at Survivor Series? I think they started to do that at Survivor Series, and I like it more. It's Santana Garrett that she's facing. Okay. Santana Garrett. Okay, Santana Garrett and Aaliyah. Back elbow by Aaliyah. Net breaker by Aaliyah. No Robert Stone or anything. I'm not expecting this match to go very long. Here's Robert Stone. And he looks very disheveled. He is looking a little rough. His hair is a mess. So Robert Stone's trying to cheer on Aaliyah now. So it looks like Aaliyah's going to be the new... Wow, screaming down the camera from Aaliyah. I remember this girl. I think, was it Breaking Ground? I can't remember. And she was awful. She was absolutely awful. But that was a good few years ago. And she was only new then. And she's been around a long time now. But she seems a lot more confident in the ring. More comfortable. So she's definitely come a long way. Here we go. Santana Garrett getting up to her feet, driving Aaliyah back. And again. Robert Stone watching on. Robert Stone reminds me of Seth on Raw. Big slap by Aaliyah. Santana Garrett turning round, slaps Aaliyah back. Garrett going over, grabs Aaliyah by the head. Aaliyah goes down. Crashing down. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Santana Garrett getting the victory. Aaliyah says, I'm sorry. I wonder if... Why doesn't Robert Stone just get Santana Garrett? I don't understand. Santana Garrett just won. Why doesn't he make a play for her? So he's looking very disheveled. Right, here comes Big Swole. Big Swole on the way. Big Swole versus Nyla Rose. There we go. So next on NXT, we're going to look at that women's match. Charlotte versus Rhea versus Io Shirai. Right, Nyla Rose making her way down. Would love to see Karrion Kross and Scarlett versus Gargano and Lerae, says Stu. I could see that happening one day. I could see them taking on Keith and Mia as well. I wonder, maybe part of the reason is so that they can start to explore those kinds of mixed tag matches, and they're starting to just introduce a few mixed tag teams. So Nyla's first match since she lost the championship. So Nyla in there with Big Swole. I do like Big Swole. I'm not sure that Big Swole's going to get the victory here. I like the fact that Big Swole was very vocal at Double or Nothing. So it kind of gives this match meaning. So Big Swole taking on the former champion. Big Swole having a little dance around. Showing off the guns. Nyla Rose doesn't look too impressed. Going to lock up Big Swole round the back. Big Swole. Back elbow coming in by Nyla Rose. Nice reversal. Headlock by Big Swole. Hopefully they give this match a little bit of time, because I haven't seen the rankings, but I should imagine that, Nyla's got to still be up there, former champion. Big Swole, I think, has looked good. I don't know that she's got many victories under her belt, though. Couple of back elbows coming in. It's going to be a good opportunity to see, again, where she is compared to someone that was literally just the champion. Couple of back elbows again. Nyla Rose picking up Big Swole. Big Swole, though, nice. Takedown. And Nyla Rose is down. So a good way to neutralize the size of Nyla Rose by getting her off her feet, getting her down, keeping that headlock on. And she is maintaining control, looking to break apart, and again takes a down roll up. Nice work by Big Swole. She's certainly not intimidated. And Nyla Rose's size isn't causing her too many problems. Big Swole against the ropes, goes for a shoulder charge. Can't take Nyla Rose down. Again goes the other side. Another shoulder charge. Can't take her down. Starting to get a little bit frustrated. Went to run. But this time it's Nyla that runs. Abdominal stretch applied by Big Swole. Again, I mean, not intimidated. And again, we were talking about that the other day. The elbow in the exposed side. Really working, really digging it in. Here we go. Hip toss by Nyla Rose. NXT is back from commercial break, and it's just going to do a rundown of Io Shirai versus Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley. So that's what we've got happening over there. Over on AEW, we've got Nyla Rose, who's on the outside. Big Swole on the edge of the ring. Goes for a kick and a miss. Ooh, face first. Big Swole face first on the edge of the ring. What title do you prefer better, TNT or AEW, and who is the better champion? AEW, I think, is one of the best belts in all of wrestling. I love their main championship, so I'd go with that. We've not seen Cody defend the title yet, so I don't know what he's like as a champion. But I am very much looking forward to his match against Jungle Boy. So I can't say who the better champion is at the moment, but I can tell you the better championship is the AEW championship. Io Shirai is underwater for some reason. Just got a little promo hyping the women's match. We're just seeing Rhea Ripley at home. Interesting. It's weird that it's still being used. Do you think Charlotte will lose the match tonight? She doesn't have a match tonight, does she? She's got a match at In Your House. She may lose the title there. I don't think it's sustainable, her appearing on all 3 shows. But I think she's a good champion. She's a fighting champion. You know, she's faced Asuka. She's faced Bayley. She's taken on a lot of people. Rhea, I mean, look, Rhea's still down about what happened at WrestleMania. Seeing that how much that performance hurt her. This feels a bit like a redemption story. You've got to be on your best day. You've got to be at your best to beat Charlotte, and I really like that story. Charlotte says, I'm NXT homegrown. Charlotte says, you don't go here. Excuse me, I'm made here. That was a great match as well. An incredible match. I do like this. It's quite interesting. If they're going to do a recap, if they're going to do some promotion, then just showing us footage and how we got there is a bit dull. But this is all exclusive interviews with several different people, kind of really giving us some backstory. And I think it's great. I think this is really good. Rhea says that when she works out, she thinks about a lot of things, but right now she's just totally focused on this Sunday. She's a very unique talent, Rhea Ripley. There's not too many girls that look like her. She's got a very unique look. Right, we're back with Big Swole and Nyla Rose. Here we go. Big strikes by Big Swole. Slaps coming in. Goes for a head kick. Nyla Rose, a little bit wobbly on her feet. Headbutt by Big Swole. Charging over. Uppercut by Big Swole. One, two. Oh, lovely stunner there by Big Swole. She really thought she'd got it. Thoughts on Charlotte retaining? I hope that Rhea Ripley wins back her title. I just want the match to be good. I just really want the match to be good. I really feel for Io Shirai. I really feel that, how many times and how many opportunities is she going to get and not take that next step? She's never been champion. She's regarded as the best in the world. She's very, very special talent. You're seeing pictures of Io when she was in Stardom. "10 years in Japan." Yeah, Natalia says she's one of the best in the world. Io's awesome. Io is an incredible wrestler, and I don't know, of the three, it could be her moment. I think it's a great match because you could see it going anyway. Here we go, Big Swole. Knee to the back of the head. This AEW women's match has been very enjoyable as well. Big Swole showing that she really is a competitor, but a spear by Nyla Rose. Big Swole goes down. Up over the top, tries to get Nyla down. She does, 2. And he gets a 2 count. I think Nyla Rose poked her in the eye. Goes for a kick to the head. Knee gets driven down into the ring mat. NXT has gone to commercial break. They just finished that little video package. Here we go. Looking for a discus lariat. Couldn't get it. Spine buster. Nyla Rose gets it. Nyla Rose wins that match. Shida nods. Understands what she just saw. Britt Baker was shaking her head. And the commentators are saying you cannot count her out. All three of them are complete opposites, says Robin. I agree. NXT are really filling time with this, though. They are. I suppose that it's difficult for me to be critical because I'm always critical when they have a match just before a pay-per-view. I'm very much of the opinion that if you've got a big match coming up, they shouldn't be having a match on the go home. If you want to do it 2 weeks before, I can understand that. But the go home, I think, is the time to promote the upcoming match. And that's what they've just done there. So, and I think they did it in an original way. They didn't just show lots of replays. They got some exclusive interviews. And honestly, I prefer that rather than seeing... I mean, the alternative is you got Io versus Rhea tonight or something like that, 2 of the 3 had a match. Big Swallow's got a chair. Big Swole talking trash to Britt Baker. Wardlow and MJF are at ringside. Well, there we go. That was a great promo. Yes, it was. Io looks so much different than when she was a face, comparing her to a heel. Yes, they've done a great job of switching that around. I agree. Monica King says, I think it's Io's time to come up, but I don't see her winning on Sunday. Will the Intercontinental Championship match be hosted at Backlash? I'm not sure. It's been recorded, so there's a good chance we see it Friday. Are you ready for In Your House? I am. I'm genuinely excited for it. I think there's several matches on there that I think are going to be... It's only the main event I'm a bit down on because of the Velveteen Dream allegations, and I don't think this is the right time for that match. Like, once it's all done and we know that it's all cleared and everything, then I can get into it. But until I know that, I don't know what the truth is. So I can't support it. So I've got no excitement for the main event, and the event will suffer as a result. But Karrion Kross against Tommaso looks awesome. Johnny and Keith looks incredible. The triple threat women's match, amazing. I don't know if we're going to get Imperium versus Breezeango. I don't know if that's made for In Your House. I didn't hear, so I can't say. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens with that. Might be that they save that for next week's NXT. Cameron Grimes is on his way down. He was getting quite a big push when NXT first went onto USA Network. It's not really getting the he's not really getting the push anymore. Can I tell you as well? I've never noticed this before. I've never ever noticed this before. But on BT Sport, it actually has the USA logo in the bottom left corner. So I'm watching on BT Sport. It's really weird. In the top left corner, I've got hashtag WWE NXT. In the top right corner, it says BT Sport 1 Live. In the bottom right corner, it says NXT. And in the bottom left corner, it says USA. So I've got, for every single corner has got a logo in it. It's quite the collection. It's quite the collection that they've got going on. Now, I like this guy, Bronson Reed. I'm a big fan of him. So Cameron Grimes against Bronson Reed. That's what we've got right now. I don't know why, but first 40-odd minutes, the shows were going quite quick. And this is going to be quite unusual for me to say this. But the past 40 minutes has been really slow. Really, really slow. I don't know if it's because there's been so much happen that I kind of looked down then and saw the time and expected it to be near towards the end. And we've still got half an hour to go. But I don't know why. The past 40-odd minutes seems to have just, I don't want to say dragged. Because that, like, the action's been fine. Matches have been fine. But past 40-odd minutes have been really strange. Just seems to have been a bit, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. Really weird. But anyway, here we are. We've got Bronson Reed and Cameron Grimes. And over on AEW, we're just waiting to go back from a commercial break. Old or new, don't matter no way. Jump into the conversation or start one of your own. Well said, William. Right, I think for AEW, we are about to go over to the FTR sit-down interview. Yes, we are. Here we go. Yes, we are. FTR. Seem to be sat in some kind of a hotel lobby. Here we go. Let's see what they got to say. So FTR is anything they want it to be. They said it takes on a life of its own. It could mean Fear the Revolution. So FTR is for the revolution. I've also seen shirts where it says F the rest. They've had a year and a half to think about it. Private Party. Santana and Ortiz, they're just naming the teams that they want to have matches with, and they're going to have matches against all of them. We're going to teach them tag team wrestling. AEW tag team champs, they're not even a real tag team. Dream match everyone's been waiting for. Oh, they've said that to wind up Jim Cornette. They just said we had to listen to Dave Meltzer calling the Young Bucks the next Midnight Express. They've specifically thrown that in. They've specifically mentioned that just to wind up Jim Cornette. Fair play. Dave Meltzer name drop. Meltzer is a goof, says Tony. Cameron Grimes picking up the victory over Bronson Reed, which is a bit of a shame. I do like Bronson Reed. So FTR say, oh, Karrion Kross jumps in the ring. Karrion Kross is here. Karrion Kross looking at Bronson Reed. Very angry. So angry. Picks up Bronson Reed with a suplex. Hello. Butcher and Blade are here. Butcher and Blade shouting their mouths off. Who this? Is this the production crew stopping them? Oh, this isn't a hotel. It's got a Jags logo on the wall, so it must be... Next week. Let's settle it in the ring. Throws water at him. So Butcher and Blade come storming in. We'll see you next week. FTR versus Butcher and Blade next week. I have to say, AEW are redeeming themselves from the pay-per-view. It's a good show. They are doing well. Charlotte should have stayed on the main shows. I love the feeling about NXT and only new stars. It's difficult though, isn't it? Because we keep saying this. It doesn't know what it wants to be. If it's going to just be new stars and emerging talent, it's not going to be able to compete with AEW, and it's not a third brand. Whereby if it's because it's developmental, it's a learning ground, if you will. It's where people take their first steps and learn the WWE way. Or is it a third brand, like they keep telling us, that's going to be a part of Survivor Series, a part of the Royal Rumble, a part of SummerSlam? It had one match at WrestleMania, and it's got Finn Balor, and it's got Charlotte. So, you know, what are you, NXT? What are you? I personally think it's fine for them to have it as a third brand. If they go that way, then they probably need a new developmental. And I think they are kind of using Evolve a little bit as the new developmental, maybe NXT UK a little bit more. Again, it's hard to know exactly what their plans are, what with the world and the chaos that it's in at the moment. Right, where are we now? A commercial break for NXT. So they're talking to Colt Cabana. Days, that was a great promo by FTR. I agree. Tommy B says NXT is having a great show tonight. I agree. Oh, hello. Brody Lee's here. Brody Lee is here to maybe try and recruit Colt Cabana. I can help you. And he gets given some water. Colt says, that's nothing I want to be a part of. Right, I think we're going over to probably the main event now. probably the main event of both shows. So we're going to have Jungle Boy. And this, do you know what? Fair play. This is the match that I think could be the best match of both shows. I think so far the best match has been the tag team match for NXT. But Jungle Boy Cody could definitely be that match. Over on NXT, we got Fantasma against Drake Maverick. Wednesdays always deliver. William says, I want more action from Brody. He has not delivered for me yet. He's got so much more potential. I agree. Okay, commercial break for AEW. I can't wait for crowds to come back. Yeah, missing them, aren't we? We really are missing them. GWE says the chat isn't moving on my screen for some reason. It can get stuck. There are some known problems. When it comes to YouTube and YouTube chat at the moment. A 6-woman tag has just been announced of Tegan, Shotzi, and Kim versus Dakota, Breakout, and Candice. Oh, Yim. Do you mean Yim? Okay, that sounds cool. It's the final. I think these are the final matches. A badass mask for Fantasma. Fantasma mask looks awesome, yes. Purple. He's got a lovely cape thing on as well. I just have no interest in this because I think this is the worst storyline of 2020, this Drake Maverick thing. This, him being fired and having to work for his job back is just awful. It's just awful. At a time where other people actually lost their job with WWE and people around the world are losing their jobs. For this to just be a story is just horrible. So I've no interest in it. I'm supporting Fantasma. I'd like Fantasma to win. Fantasma used to be in Lucha Underground, and I think that he's a big prospect. There's obviously lots of rumors about his character. Let's put it that way. So it'd be very interesting to see if there's any payoff with that tonight. So, yes, I'll be rooting for Fantasma. Sandman882 says, why is it Fantasma versus Maverick tonight and not at TakeOver? I think their TakeOver card is big enough, to be honest. I really hope that Drake loses, says AK. So do I. I want him to lose now, which is so strange considering where we were. But I just hate this story. I hope that he gets hired. Make no mistake about that. I hope that he is back. I hope there's an announcement saying we've rehired him. But I'm not going to be cheering and celebrating for our new champion, which is what I think they want us to be doing. I can see him getting the title here and it being a redemption story that we're all meant to be getting behind, and he's done it and celebrating on Twitter, and you'll get none of that from me. I think this whole story is disgusting. I've hated it from the moment it became obvious that they were turning it into a story. So for me, AEW has got my attention more right now. 18 minutes left, and this is for the TNT Championship. The TNT Champion, the belt still looks the same. The belt still looks the same. How is it? How are they struggling here to get the belt finished? Hasn't it been a week and a half now? I don't know. Well, anyway, we know that it's not finished yet. Cody in there against Jungle Boy, and this should be excellent. I do like Arn Anderson's character. I do like the way that he's kind of like a football coach, and he's got a laminated play sheet, if you will, and we just saw it, and it had Jungle Boy written on it. So clearly they've got strategies for Jungle Boy. MJF versus Jungle Boy was the best match, double or nothing for me. So to see him in action here against someone like Cody and someone as great as Cody, and they've given him enough time, 17 minutes, we should get a really good match here. So I'm really, really up for this. Okay, so Dasha about to do the introductions. LMFAO, the belt. Again, praise for AEW. They've got a championship match tonight, and guess what? They've made it their main event. Well done. Well done, AEW. It's a mid-card title, kind of very similar to, say, a United States Championship, where they've actually put it in the main event spot. His 2020 singles record is 10-1 for Cody. Having a very good 2020. Current TNT champion, first TNT champion. Championship. Being held up, and we're getting ready to go. Days Balor hasn't had a segment yet. Why do you think he hasn't? I don't know that that's the focus, to be honest. Damian Priest hasn't had a segment either. I think they're focused on building up this weekend. And have we got... Is that match in your house? Is Balor versus Damian Priest at TakeOver? I can't remember, you know. If it is, then that's very strange. Do you know, I don't know. I feel like you might be right. I feel like it is. NXT in your house. Let's have a look. Let's have a look and see. It is as well. Yeah, excellent observation. I don't know. I thought they would have been fully focused on all of the matches. We've seen Karrion Kross coming out and beating up Bronson Reed. We've seen a video package for the women's match. We've seen a video package for Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream. We started the night with Keith Lee, Johnny Gargano. We know we've got that 6-woman tag after the brawl that happened. So, yeah, the only thing we've not seen is Finn Balor. Excellent point. Right. NXT is at commercial break. Jungle Boy going against the ropes. Head scissor takedown. Nice. Going for a quick roll-up of Cody. 2. And he's still keeping on top of him. Still looking for a pin. Jungle Boy backed away. Big chop by Jungle Boy. And again. Jungle Boy in the corner. Big forearm strike by Cody. Big chop. Forearm strikes coming back from Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy goes down. Didn't they do a video package last week? Yeah, still surprised there was not just a little summit this week. Here we go. Cody gets thrown into the corner. Jungle Boy going straight after. Slides underneath. Roll over in. Gets caught. Planted. Power slam. Nice. Kick out by Jungle Boy. And again. This is such a great opportunity for someone like Jungle Boy. You know, this is a great way to use that mid-card championship. Jungle Boy is an up-and-coming talent. He's going to be a big future star. I don't think he'll be in Jurassic Express forever. He will for a good while still to come. But this guy can go on to be a big, big future star. He's got the world at his feet. So giving him an opportunity like this now is great. It's kind of like Austin Theory getting a shot at the United States Championship. Jungle Boy in pain because he's in a figure 4 right now. Carmen Live 2 it is, yes. Do you think Balor will have another character for the big matches? Well, there's been nothing to suggest that he will, unfortunately. I know a lot of people would like the Demon to come back, but that's not seemingly the story that they want to tell at the moment. So, Jungle Boy has managed to get out of that. He's on the edge of the ring. Here we go. Cody going for the kick. Duck underneath by Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy on the top into a DDT. That was great. Lovely work by Jungle Boy. No, going for the pin again. And again. Cody rolls out the ring. Jungle Boy against the ropes. Suicide dive into Cody. Jungle Boy back into the ring against the ropes. Suicide dive again. Gets caught by Cody. Cody with Jungle Boy. Hurls him into the crowd. Hurls him into the guns. So look at this. Cody really pulling out all the stops here as we go to commercial break. Did Omega and Page retain? They did, yes. They did. Days, has the Lucha released Wild and Mendoza? They haven't released them. We've not seen any more of them. Did Cody say the title can be defended outside of AEW? I would imagine that it could. We know that AEW has got good relationships with some indie promotions, and it really wouldn't surprise me if you was to see that belt being defended on some indie shows. They seem to be like really trying to develop strong relationships with indie promotions so that they've got a good feed of talent. So if those indie promotions get some big names, then AEW will be the first to get the pick of them. So, yeah, I think that that's a two-way street. And they could probably end up giving some of the indie shows some big matches to promote and maybe a TNT championship match, you know? Or certainly some AEW talent. So I think it's going to be quite interesting to see that evolve and develop. William says, this is just the best way to watch wrestling. I wouldn't be able to watch wrestling without you. Days. Came back because of the Fiend and I stayed for days. Thank you, William. The kind words are, I mean, I feel like I say it every stream. I really appreciate the support, the kind words. Just I'm really pleased that you enjoy it. I'm really pleased that you're a part of the community, man. So stay awesome. Stay awesome. There's really not much more that I can say. Your support is incredible. Really appreciated. So shout out to you, William Hensey. Jody giving us an update as well. So Jody says, good news. There was no blood clot. Amazing. A pinched nerve from my bone spur on my knee. Met with some sports medicine on Friday and then orthopedic surgeon for surgery. Ugh. Well, at least it's getting sorted, so that's great. So, yeah, great news, Jody, that you managed to get that sorted, and it was just a pinched nerve. Nothing more serious than something that can get sorted. So, shout out to you, Jody. Really, thanks for the update as well. Really, really appreciate that. C Mickey 48 says, I missed the John Cena US Open Challenge, and I hope that Apollo starts it back up. William Hensey says, glad to hear that, Jody. My thoughts and continued prayers are with you. There we go. Some support as well from William Hensey, sending his thoughts and loves over to you, Jody. We are back with AEW. MJF getting in the face of Jungle Boy says, you think you deserve a title shot before me. Vicky Guerrero standing in the crowd. She's got an Inner Circle shirt on. There we go. Yeah, look. Jungle Boy getting distracted. Cody's busted? Wait, how did Cody get so busted? Going into the what? I don't understand. How's Cody got such colour? He is absolutely... But he can't see. The blood's going into his eyes. The ref's coming over to have a check on this and make sure everything's all right. He's put the gloves on, but... Well, we didn't see what actually happened there. He got thrown into the wall on the outside, but we've got colour here. And Jungle Boy was going after it. Why you don't apologise? That's what you should do. Jungle Boy saying I'm sorry to the ref. Don't be sorry. Cradle by Jungle Boy. We got some real drama now on AEW. 6 minutes left to go. GWE Wrestling and Gaming, shout out to you. Waleed says, love this community. That looks so much more than a blade. Yeah, it's crazy. A blade, you know, just get a little bit of cut. This is all down his face. And he can't quite see. It keeps going in his eyes. I can't tell. We never saw it. I don't know. I don't know if he's really busted himself or if he has kind of given it a nick and maybe a bit too much of a nick. Some people have come down. 2 people, which I'm guessing. Is it going to turn out to be Mendoza and whatever? They came down to ringside just. Fantasma gets the victory. Fantasma has won on NXT. Good. So Fantasma is the new NXT Cruiserweight Champion, which is a big breakout moment for him because he was not a name that we knew of when this tournament started. And he is legit a big talent, a big future star, Fantasma. So Fantasma picking up the victory there. And Cody going for the pin on Jungle Boy. We've got 4 minutes to go. So a big superplex by Cody on Jungle Boy. We've still got a few minutes left. I don't know if NXT is going to end early or what's going to happen, but there's still a little bit of potential for a couple of minutes. Cody's taken off his weight belt here, and he throws it away. Are they going to try and kidnap Fantasma or something now? Here we go. Cody going up top. Big strike by Jungle Boy. Here we go. Jungle Boy strikes to the midsection of Cody. They're both up top. There's a ladder set up on the outside and down through the... Oh, it was a table, sorry. Table was set up on the outside. And they go down through the table, both of the guys. Wow, what a spot. What a spot that was. Massive spot. Cody and Jungle Boy go crashing through that table. Over on NXT, they're applauding Drake Maverick. And again, they're trying to pull on your heartstrings right now. This is a scummy move. And I think it's just awful. I think NXT for this whole story is awful. This is an awful story. It's all designed to get you to continue to support Drake Maverick. I think Dave Meltzer said he had heard that Maverick has re-signed. So, according to Meltzer at the moment, Maverick is under contract with NXT. So, what you're watching here is not the end of Drake Maverick. Not according to Meltzer, anyway. So, if it is pulling at your heartstrings, don't let it. Over on AEW, we've got Cody picking up the win against Jungle Boy in what was the best match we had tonight. Lots of drama. He finishes it with a crossroads, and he picks up the victory that way. A lot of people come running out afterwards. Brandy Rhodes comes down. Triple H has come out, and now he's offering a contract to Drake Maverick. No, I don't think anything is going to be worse than this story for me this year. Imagine being one of those other superstars that got let go. Imagine that. Imagine being one of those other people. They've tried to recreate there the Cedric Alexander moment. I remember Cedric Alexander. Do you remember when he got knocked out of the cruiserweight tournament? And the crowd was chanting, "Sign him up." And Triple H came out of the backstage area and put his arm around Cedric, and it's like, "I hear you." And then they signed Cedric Alexander after that, and that's how Cedric Alexander got his. They've tried to recreate that moment there with that. Your voices matter, your ideas matter, your dreams matter. We see you. We hear you. We stand with you. Black Lives Matter. A very simple little message there from AEW. We didn't get anything along those lines from NXT, or not that I saw. Dumb. A show of respect from Cody. Yeah, great match. Great match. Right, let's get your thoughts in at the end. Get your scores in for both of the shows. NXT has hit a real low with that story. I'm glad it's finished and we can move on. I agree with that. I'm happy he's signed. He never should have been fired. I agree with that as well. Drake back with WWE. Yep. Shameful, says Jaden. Completely agree. I completely agree. NXT ends with a feel-good moment. Tries to. I think it's working for some people. But get your thoughts across. I mean, I straight away have to take a mark off for NXT for the Drake Maverick nonsense. Hate it. I think it's so disrespectful. I know I keep saying it, but there's no way I can talk about it without being honest, and I have to be honest. I think firing a load of people and then bringing one back and using it as a storyline, using it as a way to get views, to get clicks, to benefit your company. I mean, think about it this way. You think of the company has fired someone and used that situation to get views, to get clicks. I don't understand how that can get supported. I don't get it. And does it not make you question if he was actually fired at all? What if he was never fired? I don't know what the truth is. He might never have been fired. WWE legit might have fired a lot of stars, a lot of names, and in amongst it, planted a name that wasn't fired. So you might be feeling really great for Drake Maverick right now. I've got no idea if he was actually fired or not. And that's not my fault. I'm only questioning it because I can't believe what I'm being shown anymore. I don't even know what I'm being shown anymore. It's just, I agree with what the chat just said there. I'm glad it's over. I'm really glad it's over. So he's signed. He's back with NXT. I really enjoyed Cody Jungle Boy in the main event. I think Fantasma winning is good. I think that he's a big prospect. He's a big future star. So I think that's good as well. I'm gonna say I think that these were quite close shows. I think they both had really good moments. Get your scores in. I'm not seeing many scores. 7.5 NXT. It was enjoyable for a go home. I would have scored it higher, but for the Drake match, says Dave. I'm going to give it a 6. Who won, Jungle Boy or Cody? It was Cody. If AEW did it, would the shamefulness be the same? Yes, 100%. I've already had grief from AEW fans telling me that I'm biased to NXT. If NXT fans want to come at me now and start saying that I'm biased towards AEW, then that is a conversation I'm going to very much welcome. Because what I'm starting to learn with these Wednesday nights is you just cannot win. Do you know what I mean? You can give honest thoughts and honest opinions, and it's fine for people to ask questions. But honestly, it'll be mega lols if now people are going to say I'm biased towards AEW. NXT 7, AEW 10, NXT 6, AEW 7.5. AEW 9, NXT 7, the Drake story still sucks. AEW 8, NXT 7, NXT 775, AEW 825, NXT 675, AEW 725. Here we go. We're getting some good scores coming in now. Very, very interesting stuff. Feels like you've worked yourself into a shoot. No. I'm quite cool about it. We've had a lot of weeks of being exposed to it. I'm just quite happy that it's done now, so that we can just move on with it. Can you predict NXT in your house? We'll have a look at it. Throw it back. AEW 8, NXT 675. NXT AEW 7.5, NXT 775. Interesting. Both shows are far better than either Raw or SmackDown. NXT 7.9, AEW 9.9. NXT 725, AEW 775. What did Wardlow do? I don't think Wardlow did a great deal, to be honest. I didn't see him really getting involved in anything. So nothing from Wardlow tonight. 8 out of 10 for NXT. I didn't watch AEW. That's fair enough. Insiders coming up soon, yes. Who won between Tony Nese and Isaiah Swerve? Isaiah Swerve was victorious. NXT 7, AEW 9. Cal W, shout out to you. Sonny talking about the insiders. They are coming up. Chalmers says, Days, the other release stars are just looking and saying that could have been me. That could have been me. Black Wednesday was an inside job, says Esteban. Right, well, look, let me give you my thoughts. I would score... I think NXT had some really good stuff. I really liked that first match. It didn't really have like an OMG moment, although saying that, the return of Breezeango was excellent. So I think I'm going to say it was an 8, but I'll give it a 7 because I've already said why. We're not going to go over it again. But there we go. I'll give NXT a 7. I do like Fantasma winning though. That was good. And I do think that by and large NXT was probably the better show. Not by much though. Not by much. So I kind of feel like, man, I think match of the night is Cody Jungle Boy. I really enjoyed that. Big Swole Nyla Rose delivered as well. The tag match at the start was pretty good. I'm gonna say that this was a 7-2-5. Maybe a 7.5. I'm kind of around that ballpark. But I'm going to say that AEW edges it. AEW edges it. But I do think, by and large, NXT was the stronger across a lot of tonight. Which is quite a surprise because it was a go-home show and I really wasn't expecting that. And again, you take the Drake Maverick stuff out, NXT's the better show tonight. So we move on. Ethan, that's huge news, if true. Days, I heard the Velveteen Dream allegations were cleared. Amazing. Very, very interesting. That's very, very interesting. They clearly want to put a gallon of petrol onto the burning fire of Drake Maverick's career. Freedom of speech. Not the rest of the world. Jadam, shout out to you, my friends. Santana Garrett finally won. Yes, she did. Good point. She did. She picked up a victory against Aaliyah, yes. AEW, 10 out of 10. NXT, 1. Sausage out of 10. Well, at least it was a sausage. At least it was a sausage. I think we're about 5 minutes away from the insiders, so just to still get your final thoughts. Mad Upped says, Cody said after Double or Nothing that he wants to defend and hold the belt that he was given. So maybe the belt is finished, but he just wants to get the silver platter over. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I am surprised. I kind of had the thought that they were just, a few days away from having the belt finished. It's been like a week and a half, and it's still the same as it was. So, little bit of a surprise that they've not been able to get that finished off. Maybe you're right. Maybe Cody wants it to be special to him or something. Perhaps the next person that wins it will get the finalized version or something. Or perhaps the belt maker that they're using still isn't working. Or I don't know. It's quite bizarre. Quite bizarre. Monica King, shout out to you. Rude Boy says Chelsea Green going to the main roster. NXT 10 out of 10. AEW 5. Days FTR will be on Cornette's show this Friday. Oh, I didn't know that. That'll be interesting. I did think it was very funny that they mentioned the Young Bucks being compared to the Midnight Express. I only think they do that, and I only think they make that mention to wind up Jim Cornette. I don't think they do it for any other reason. I could be wrong, but I think they did it for that reason. Did you know that Carneyland has got its own YouTube channel? I saw it for the first time earlier. Yeah, I saw it for the first time earlier. I think the reactions on social media about Drake made this story. I don't think it was planned from the beginning. Yeah, I can understand that. And if you go back, I was on board with it. We made our own Drake t-shirt and everything. But as soon as they took it and they made it a story, it's all well and good for us fans to want him back. But they should have seen that reaction. And what Triple H just did there, they should have done it weeks ago. Should have done it weeks and weeks and weeks ago. I just don't get it. This AEW was taped. Oh, great point, Cal. Great point. Cal W there, dropping a knowledge bomb. Yes, great point. So if it was taped, that would totally explain it. Yes. Love it. Carmen live too, and you've drilled it into my brain now about Hammond, Indiana. Jim Gore says the Young Bucks are not like any version of the Midnight Express. No, well, I did hear Jim Cornette losing his mind over that comparison. Yeah, absolutely losing his mind. So, yeah, I agree, Jim. I agree. The thing is, Days, what if another superstar made that emotional video? Would they get re-signed as well? I hated it. I don't know what else to say. Chalmers says, Days, did you hear that the AEW bleeped out Revival when Schiavone said it? I did not, to tell the truth, but when it comes to the audio stuff, I do miss out on little bits like that because I have to have the sound down so much. Eagles Lair, shout out to you. Sorry to hear that, Jordan. 2 minutes, well, 1 minute until Insiders begin. So, yes, we are going to wrap up. Well, there we go, guys. Plenty of talking points coming out of this week. I do think that this weekend's show in your house looks very, very tasty. Very, very interesting. So, very much looking forward to seeing that on Sunday. So, we're back tomorrow for a little watch-along of Armageddon 1999. We're back on Friday for SmackDown. We're back on Saturday for UFC 250. We're back on Sunday for Takeover in Your House. So we've got plenty of shows coming up. Lots of talking points. Lots for you to get your teeth into. Jaden says, how do they expect people to get behind Maverick after this? I think this was planned from the start. Well, all I'll say, Jaden, is if you go onto social media, I think you will see that people are on board with it. I don't think people are seeing it the same way that some of us are seeing it, to be honest. I think some people are just seeing... I think some people are literally taking the story as they're seeing it. So, to them, Drake was fighting to get his job back, and he's just been given his job back. And so I think if you go on social media, you're going to see a lot of celebration. And I think you're going to see a lot of people that saw the story and took it for what they saw. So, yeah. There's the company making the TNT title make ventilators, so they had to stop making the belt for a while. Oh, so good, man. I tell you what, I love this community. Such interesting information. Cal W dropping the information about... this being a pre-tape show, which might be why the belt's not finished. Then Beaver Cleavage coming in about the company doing other things, having other priorities. You know, we're having a good conversation about the Drake Maverick thing. We've spoke about our concerns about the Velveteen Dream thing as well. And we have some very honest, very real conversations, and it's good, man. Really appreciate it. It's good that we've got this platform, and yeah, good stuff. Insiders have begun anyway. I don't want to be walking all over them, so you can jump over there. The conversation will continue. Thank you to everyone that joined us tonight. I hope you enjoyed this Wednesday night wrestling. We are back for a watch-along tomorrow. That will start at 11 o'clock UK time, which is 6 Eastern. Okay? Awesome. Thanks a lot for watching, and hopefully see you again next time. Bye for now.